Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to a super special podcast. We are the OP Squad, Powerbang, here with Wynnsanity. We got some special guests today, guys. Guess who we got here in studio? It's not just me and Wynn. We've got Rolex, we've got Medalcore. We are all chilling in the PUBG studio here to do a very special podcast for you all today. We're here for the Chicken Dinners at Home campaign that's running for the next couple of months. You guys will be able to tune in, see your favorite content creators each and every week. So super excited to kick things off here today. First off, how the heck are y'all doing? Wynn, what's poppin', dude?
I'm good. We've been putting this set together for the last couple days, and I think it really came out well. So I know we're all just like really excited to get the show on the road, and I hope you guys are
cheesing,
staying safe at home. Like PB said, this is part of the Chicken Dinners at Home series, so we're kind of weathering out the last little bit of the quarantine, hoping everybody stayed safe, and we've just been playing games at home.
For sure. We got Rolex that's just recently moved up to the OP mansion.
What's up, guys?
Tell us, man, you've been grinding away, you've been growing the channel.
Dude,
how's it been so far?
It's been crazy so far. I'm honestly so excited to be here with you guys, and it's just been an incredible journey because I've seen you guys, I've seen Wynn, Medal, and Powerbang, of course. All you guys have exploded over the past year or so, so it's just awesome to see you guys
It's been insane.
I'm just happy to be here.
It's been insane. So speaking of explosions, we got Medalcore popping off right now. You guys can check out his channel at the link in the description. By Medalcore, if you look him up on YouTube. Man's cruising. And speaking of cruising, we got my man Wynnsanity here. This dude's gonna be hitting 100,000 subscribers on YouTube in the next couple of days. If you guys have not subscribed to Wynn or any of these guys, definitely go do that. Let's get them over the hump. And obviously, I'm Powerbang. I stream and do YouTube stuff, so if you
can sub to him too if you want.
It's cool.
He's got a few subs.
So today, the format, we're doing a little bit of a podcast. We're gonna kick things off. We're gonna talk all things PUBG Mobile. We're gonna talk content creation. We're gonna get you guys involved, and make sure you guys stick around because we do have some giveaways planned for today. We're gonna be hooking you guys up with some Royal Passes, some UC. We'll talk more about that as things go on. But first of all, I want to kind of hop in, give you guys a little bit of background on who we are, like why are we here, what are we doing. So let's go ahead, go one by one. Medalcore, why don't you kick us off, man, and tell us what you do.
I make YouTube videos, but more specifically, I feel like I've been doing YouTube ever since I was in high school. But it wasn't until I started really getting into mobile games that I kind of found a little niche that I could do things, and then I realized that I can hook up my Elgato to my phone and just make it more high quality. And then they started making mobile games that were console level quality, like PUBG Mobile and stuff, and I don't know, it just started going crazy.
We're here now.
Insane. So how long has it been since you've been out of high school?
I graduated in 2015, so.
So you're baby yet. You got a long way to go.
I'm still a baby.
I love it. That's awesome, dude. It's cool to see you blowing up as you have so far. Rolly, what about you, bro? What's your story? I know a little bit of your story.
Hi, my name is Rolex. I've been playing PUBG Mobile for around 2 years now since release date, and I never thought I'd be here, honestly. I was just a regular college student planning to go to med school, and then all of a sudden I met Powerbang through one of the streams, and I just kind of fell in love with content creation and YouTube and all that, and now we're here.
Insane, man. I gotta say, I found a Rolex in my chat one day, and we started playing games together, and dude, I remember I was rotating through all kinds of people, and all of a sudden this kid, super good at the game, and I was like, nice guy, super good. I was like, hey man, why don't you come back tomorrow? Let's play again, and that turned into a pretty cool duo over the course of time that a lot of you guys know about. Wynnsanity, what about you, man?
Geez, so this current channel I've had for a little over a year, but I've been on YouTube for probably a decade. Same with Medal. I've had old channels since I was 12 years old, making the dumbest videos you can imagine. They're still out there. I hope you guys don't find them. But I started in my dorm room like Rolex, making videos, playing other mobile games with just a little phone and a laptop, and it's kind of evolved over the last almost 4 years now to PUBG Mobile, and to where we are today. So it's been, you like to say we're blowing up, but I know for especially everybody here on this panel, it's been a lot of hard work behind the scenes, and we make it look easy, but hopefully today we can kind of talk to you guys a little bit about all the stuff that does go on behind the scenes.
It's actually hard.
Yeah, it's very difficult, and you see us, we're in front of our computers most hours of the day trying to make awesome content for you guys, so it's a lot of stuff that happens.
Yeah, so we want to kind of shed a little bit of light on what, basically want to answer all of your questions when it comes to content creation, when it comes to PUBG Mobile specifically, how to create content around it, how to be a better player. There's a lot of people here on set, Rolex, that could answer a lot of those questions very specifically. I did see a question in chat come through just now. Rolex versus PB, who would win in a 1v1? Unfortunately, we only have one time where that's happened, and
He was camping.
Camping,
He was
whatever,
camping
bro.
in
You
the
talk all
corner.
the crap you want. All I know is
Whatever.
PB ended up on top there, and I will say that I ended that game with like 3 kills. And Rolly died to my hand, but had 14 in the process, so no big deal. I don't know. I'm sure Rolly would clap the crap out of me these days. He's a pretty talented player.
He has evolved. He has evolved since.
Yeah, he's on another level now than the rest of us. But
okay.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm Powerbang. I've been creating content on YouTube for the last 5 years. More than that now, actually, and it's been quite a ride. Started out in Clash of Clans and then transitioned to PUBG Mobile in 2018 on the global release date. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of, I want to say ups and downs, but mostly ups, honestly. You guys have been an absolutely tremendous community. Been super, super fun. We've opened a ton of crates. We've won a lot of chicken dinners, and we visited a lot of places throughout the world at live events, meeting you guys at conventions, at live stream events, at world championships for this or that. We'll talk more about that here in just a little bit, but that's me. You can find me at Powerbang Gaming. First off, want to get into like how the heck we all met. First off, I know you guys have some wacky stories about that. I know I have my perspectives and whatnot, but when you want to kick us off with that?
Yeah, sure. So back when the height of competitive gameplay for North America, back in the very first Star Challenge, I was able to qualify. I have no idea, just some friends in my stream chat. I think I had like 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers at the time. Ended up qualifying for the LAN event. Told my boss I needed to take some emergency vacation time. That didn't really go over well, but I'm glad that I kind of went anyway, and I was able to meet all of these guys and compete in my first and only LAN experience, which was incredible. On that trip, there were 2 really important players, or well, I call them, like key people that I met. One was Omelet Arcade. That was a company I ended up working for and moving out to the West Coast from New York in my whole life. And the second guy that I met, I had 2 business cards. I gave one to Omelet, and I gave the second business card to this guy right here. And we kind of hit it off. We didn't talk too much after the Star Challenge, but at least I got on his radar. I knew who he was, obviously, and I guess the rest is history. Now we're here.
Sure.
Yeah.
I remember you handed me the business card, and he had the email address like scratched out, and he's like wrote down the real one, handed it to me, and I just kind of chuckled.
It was my HR manager card. Right?
The funny thing was, you were already on my radar, dude. Like, I already knew who you were. You didn't think I knew who you were, but I did, and definitely was like, I want to work with that guy in the future for sure. We talked a little bit about Rolex and I kind of coming together. What was that like from your perspective, dude? Because I know I was kind of like, years and years into content creation, and then you were like a fan of a lot of different like YouTubers from what I saw, and then that's all I know. What was your experience like?
Yeah, so it was pretty crazy because I used to, pretty much I was a huge fan of you. I pretty much watched you for around 2 years of Clash of Clans back in the day, and
No
then
way.
all of a sudden you switched to PUBG Mobile, and then I was like, what is this game? So then I tried it out, and then somehow, I don't know how it worked out, but somehow you just wanted to play with me for some reason, so we just kept on playing. I met you through a stream. And then, we kept playing, and then, I used to just try to play at my dorm, but,
Sure.
I had my roommates there, and it was just, I don't know, it's pretty crazy. And then from there, we kept talking, and then some big stuff happened with, some Lights Out esports org, and then from there, we kind of became best buddies.
Yeah, man.
So it was just, I don't know.
Super interesting story that Rolex and I had. Like, he came in. I want to give a shout out to Cleric Dragoon. I think he was like, hey man, there's this guy that plays on my stream sometimes. He's really good. You should give him a shot. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. Got him in. Sure enough, dude, he's amazing. Rolex and I kind of kicked off the Lights Out organization back in the day. A lot of you guys might remember that. Rip LO. But yeah, man, super, super fun. Got into the esports scene, and the esports scene in PUBG Mobile has really taken not only us, but a lot of content creators and professionals, I guess, around the world to compete. Really, really cool stuff. Speaking on that topic, though, we'll come back to that in just a second. Metal, what was your first experience kind of meeting all of us?
Well, first I met you because I was a previous Battle Royale content creator guy for a different Battle Royale game, and then I wanted to get into PUBG Mobile, and the PUBG Mobile team was talking to me, and they were like, oh, go to this event and meet one of our other creators and, talk to them. It was a Razer event in San Francisco, so PB was there, but PB was like casting, and he brought like everything. He had a backpack, and he just did it all by himself. He had like a laptop and everything. He did it all by himself. And so I was able to talk to him up until the event ended.
Sorry, man.
Well, I mean, I wanted to get dinner with you, but like, I got dinner plans or whatever. So we just talked for like 20 minutes or something, and that was my first ever interaction with you. I'm like, I guess I'll never see that guy again. And I ended up getting partnered with PUBG Mobile, and then I ended up going to the Star Challenge, and then that's where we really all met. And then it was like, oh, good to see you again, Powerbang. And then I remember we were in the lobby, and one of Wynn's teammates, which I think was Claire Green, he's like, do you know who this guy is? And like he's like, let's take a picture. And then Wynn was like, I don't know who this guy is.
Who knew who everybody was?
Yeah.
He was
So they like took a picture with me, and Wynn probably thought I was a weirdo. I'm like, I don't know who these guys are. And then I wanted to get interviews of all the team leaders for the official PUBG Mobile channel. You can actually find that. And actually, the one person who I couldn't interview was this dude right here. I was messaging him on Twitter, and he was like, yeah, bro, don't worry, blah, blah, blah.
But then, about me?
No,
it was Rolex. I was like, I don't remember this, but okay, I got you.
So I was messaging Rolex, and but like his team also, you guys got first, right?
Right.
So like he was a little bit busy.
We were just so focused on trying to win that, I was just like, okay, I'll just get to that.
No media requests right now. I'm not signing autographs, none of that.
Yeah, so I ended up interviewing like Zute, and then Wynn was one of the guys. I'm like, we were just sitting in like the little area for players, and I'm like, hey, do you want to get interviewed? You're a team leader, right? I didn't really know who Wynn was. And so I interviewed Wynn, and that was my interactions with Wynn until like he moved to California, and then we started hanging out a lot more often as well.
Yeah,
so.
well, I didn't realize when I moved to work for Omelet in California, Metal lived like 30 minutes away.
Yeah,
so
like
we would like
super
meet on the
close.
weekends and go like shoot videos around the bay.
That's
and
so
stuff.
cool. So you guys were basically neighbors.
Yeah,
I mean, more or less.
Yeah, I mean,
quick drive.
if you live in the Bay Area, you are neighbors.
You're neighbors with everyone.
Anywhere, yeah.
Yep.
For sure. No, that's crazy. So coming back to like some of those events and things that we went and did, I remember the very first like event that happened was the NA Star Challenge, North America Star Challenge in 2018. It was like everybody kind of got to the finals. Everybody was there, all the content creators and stuff. Can't wait to do more stuff like that in the future after all of this COVID stuff lifts and restrictions are lifted and everybody's back to like a safe, regular, normal. But I remember being there, and I remember this guy, dude. The guy was wearing a full-on corn suit.
That's right, yeah.
Full corn suit on stream, super, super awesome. So let's kick it off with that. We're going to get to y'all's questions here in just a moment. I'm watching chat. We all can see chat on our phones and whatnot. We want to answer some of your questions here in a little bit. We'll do a giveaway here shortly. Give away a Royale Pass or something like that. But Rolly, what's your favorite place that PUBG Mobile has taken you? Like, what's the coolest thing that you've done related to this game?
Ooh, I'd have to say maybe Taiwan. Over in Taipei, it was just completely like, I don't know, because it was like a sort of like a TV show that they had us do, and that was like the first time that I guess people were like, oh my gosh, like he's like famous. But like I'm just a regular PUBG Mobile player. I wasn't really
I'm just a dude.
thinking of that from that perspective. But then like I was eating, and then all of a sudden these workers come in. It's like, oh, here, I'll take the trash, and I'm just like, no, it's fine. Like it's so it was just like a. So like another experience that I've never had before, because I was just a regular college student, and then all of a sudden, now people see me as like this PUBG Mobile
megastar.
Yeah, so
so it was surreal. It was like a surreal. Yeah.
Right. So I think that Taipei, Taiwan was probably the favorite place that I've been
Gotcha.
to.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk more about like some of the cool stuff that I've done on that just in a little bit. It's been really, really interesting because I've been a part of like most of the main like productions up through this year, and gone all over the world and seen some really cool stuff, met some really cool people, stuff that I never thought I'd have the opportunity to do, and it's all thanks to PUBG Mobile that I did that. To the point where it's like there's been so many of these really cool experiences that they almost kind of seem normal, which is weird to say. Because I was thinking about stuff to talk about today and like things to recall, and like somebody was like, "What about this time you did this?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, like that. It's insane." Like, so really cool experiences. Favorite memory from PUBG Mobile? What's the coolest thing you went and did?
I'd say the Star Challenge in Los Angeles. The LA event for sure, because it kind of solidified that this is like the industry I want to be in. It was my first big gaming event that I got to go to. I was kind of waffling, like, do I make this jump from like your regular desk job into this gaming world? That really solidified it for me. But I was able to also go to the Dubai Star Challenge. I didn't participate, but I was able to at least watch and experience that production. And still remember, this is 2018, and to have a mobile LAN that had that much money on the line with that type of venue in a location like Dubai
crazy.
was
that was a
absolutely...
$2 million event, roughly?
Yes.
Yeah,
$2 million.
I remember speaking with the esports guys, and they were like, yeah, we're going to do $1 million tournament, or it's going to be a $1.5 million tournament, or it's going to be a $2 million tournament. And I was just like, holy crap, this is insane for a mobile game to like get to this level. So Really, really cool.
For the Star Challenge, I was going to say with Los Angeles, I didn't appreciate it at the time, but the PUBG Mobile community has been like the first big gaming community I've been in where like everybody kind of knows each other. And still to this day, because of LA, I've been able to meet people like Juicy and Angry and Sixless and like and all the other competitive players, Bayo, like all these guys that I now can put the name with the face.
Yeah.
And it makes like my interactions on Twitter with them like a little bit more genuine because I've actually met them in person.
Right.
And it all goes back to LA.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, 100%. It's been something that's my favorite thing about like this industry and this game and this, content creation is going places and meeting people and like creating like real personal relationships. Metal, what about you, dude? Favorite thing you did?
It was something that me and Wynn both did. We were on this like reality show in Texas called Streamer Showdown, and at first they told me it was going to be a documentary, so I didn't think it was going to be anything crazy, but no, it was like a reality show. Like there was like challenges and like dodgeball and all this crazy stuff. And yeah, I don't know. It was really nice cuz the camera people were super chill, and I went to school for film production, so it was crazy to be in front of the camera and not behind the camera. Yet me and Wynn were nerding out to the camera people. We're like, "What mics do you guys have?" We were like sitting there talking to the like production people. And it was just super surreal. Like Wynn was saying, like the community is so tied. Like that was probably like my third time seeing Zute, probably. Like because Zute also went to the Bay for a little bit just for like an internship or something, and then it was like, oh, I also saw him at the Star Challenge. I interviewed him as well, and then also now we're at this reality show thing that we did. So it's like I met so many people, part of the community.
That's right. You guys did that reality show. That's cool.
Yeah, and so that was probably a really fun thing that I just never expected to happen. I wasn't able to.
Sure.
Like, I didn't travel too much with PUBG Mobile, but there's a lot of just, like, cool things. Like, also the PUBG Mobile and Bape collaboration. Like,
You've been rocking that Bape?
That was pretty cool.
Well, I'm not really, like, a fashion guy, and, like, it was...
You're not a hype beast, dude?
Nah, so my parents didn't really, like, understand what I was doing, and when I got the Bape stuff, they're like, my brother and dad were like, Bape, bro? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just wearing the Bape and making a live stream and doing custom games, you know?
Look, Dad, I can put the zipper over my face.
yeah, so... honestly, like the list goes on for the amount of cool stuff that we
I'm gonna rattle off a few like memorable experiences from my end. Like obviously meeting all of you guys in LA like in person for the first time. We had all of the lights out team kind of there. We did an unveil, super awesome, really cool memory of mine. I remember flying to Germany to Berlin to I think it was the second Star Challenge, or no, that was PMCO.
First PMCO, yeah.
PMCO. So I was there as an influencer to do like a showcase or whatever. And I had a tight schedule because I had events on the front and the back of this trip. I flew to Berlin, got out of the airport, into a taxi to the hotel, went to sleep. It was late at night. Woke up in the morning, did my thing. I got put into a booth, and they didn't have a phone for me. It wasn't ready to go, and I was like, you guys got to give me a device. You got to do something, right? And I remember Mortal comes up, and I'm like, yo, what's up, Mortal? How's it going? Like, let's grab a pic or whatever. We get arms around each other. We're like posing for the camera. Security jumps in, breaks us up. They're like, no pictures right now. We're going live. And I'm like, but me and Mortal, people want to see a picture, you know? So we didn't get a photo right then and there. And so that was a little bit sad. I get put in the booth. The game goes live. The plane is flying. I still don't have a phone. They hand me a phone. It's got default settings. I'm just like, oh crap. This is not a good situation. We're literally live in front of billions of people in Berlin, and I'm like jumping out of the plane. Oh crap, where do we go, squad? Let's go to somewhere where nobody's gonna go. There's only like 12 other squads here. Let's go to like Camp Alpha. Nobody will be there. We look around our parachutes, we don't see anybody. I go in, I go prone, go to the menu, I start adjusting my settings. Somebody from the Russian team, Team Unique, brings me a headset. It was like Kitsune, I think. Brings me a headset, I plug it in. I now have sound for the first time. I get my settings dialed in. I'm like, okay, cool. I think we're there. I have sound, I can hear. Exit settings, I'm in the game. I open one door.
And then it's my
get
team.
shot in the face.
It was my team. It was my team.
It was Rolex's team that killed me. And it was Rolex that freaking killed me.
I was laughing
in Berlin.
I was laughing so hard. It was just insane because I was just like, there's Athena, there's Powerbang, there's a few of the creators. I wonder who I'm going to fight first. And then, obviously him and I being super close.
This freaking guy.
And then we fight right off the bat, and it was just hilarious.
Dude. I flew to Germany to adjust my settings, get shot in the face no more than 3 seconds later after I go into the game. I'm out of the game. I leave the stage, get in a taxi, go back to the airport, fly home. I flew 20 hours to get there and 20 hours home. We're talking 40 hours of travel and plane to fix my settings, get shot in the face by Rolex, and that was my trip to Germany. So one really fun memory there. We had one in LA where we did the team up for 2019. We got to hang out with a bunch of NBA superstars, including the reigning MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo, if I said that right. I think I did. That was really, really cool and memorable. But I think if I had to pick one moment, that was probably my favorite of all things PUBG Mobile. It had to have been the first anniversary celebration in New York City, where we had a bunch of guests, but namely Alan Walker, because I've always been a fan of Alan Walker. I've always listened to his music, to the point where I had 800 of my videos using an outro song that eventually got copyright claimed by Alan Walker's record label. So I had like that grudge or whatever. Then we met in real life and actually became friends. So, friends with Alan Walker now, and that's something that 5 years ago, never in a million years would I have thought that was even a remote possibility. So really, really cool stuff from PUBG Mobile.
You know what's pretty funny is how connected we are sometimes. Is during that time I was in Europe on a trip with my girlfriend when you were in Berlin, and it was right before I moved out here to do things with you and the OP boys and all that stuff. And I remember messaging you being like, hey, what if I get dropped off, because we were passing by Germany, and I messaged you, I'm like, what if I get dropped off? And you didn't message me because you're like, I have not slept for X amount of 20 hours. Sorry, I was sleeping. It's just crazy how connected sometimes, even if we're across the world, it's just the community for PUBG Mobile is definitely worldwide, and you never know where you'll see a familiar face for PUBG Mobile. And it's the same thing where if you're in Europe or somewhere else, or even the United States, I remember walking into a convenience store in Europe, and there was someone just playing PUBG Mobile. It's just because it's a mobile game, it's not like someone has to bring a console to their job or something. It was just some guy who was working behind the game playing PUBG Mobile, and I was
Sure.
You playing PUBG Mobile? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, cool. Just walk out, get my drinks. It's just
awesome.
it's cool seeing how casual the game could be.
I've seen it many times in airports. People waiting for planes and stuff. When I'm traveling, and I see some dude playing PUBG Mobile, and then they look at you, and every once in a while they look at you, and their eyes get kind of big, they know that you're a content creator or whatever, and it's oh, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
What's up, man? Just say hi. Big shout out to Brandy, who's in the chat right now. She's a moderator for all of us, and really a huge supporter of the OP Mansion and the squad here. So big shout out to Brandy. She says we should come to Charleston because there's something cool there. I don't know. I know she has a swimming pool. I mean, we can come.
That's cool enough
hang
for
out.
me.
Yeah, right? So anyway, Brandy, big shout out to you. Thanks so much. Guys, now would be a great time to put your profile ID from PUBG Mobile in the chat. I think it's time to give away a Royale Pass. So if y'all want to do that, we're gonna put the IDs out there. Post it once. Don't spam forever, because I'm gonna give you an opportunity to ask anyone here a question as soon as we're done with this, and we'll get that answered for you right now. Get a little bit of audience interaction going on. But I see those IDs rolling in, and we are going to select one of you lucky dogs right now to go ahead and give away a Royale Pass to. So that's super, super exciting. We'll wait for that selection to come on up. Idem says, give it to someone else. Well, we will.
Sure.
Fair enough.
Okay. I gotta tell us twice.
For sure. So while we're getting that selected, I guess we've talked a little bit about the OP Mansion, OP Squad. What is it? What are we doing here together?
That's a great question.
You
I
wanna
think
tell
I'll
us?
answer that
I
question.
mean, I could talk about
That was
it
a
too.
throw.
Basically, we were all fortunate enough to have a sponsor come and support us to, kind of work on a deeper level, and that's why, we have been able to take this opportunity to do cool things like this, because we are next to each other. It's not virtual. We can collaborate in person, and all live in the same area. Where PB's just down the road. The three of us live in the mansion together. You've seen us collaborate. I'll go over to Rolex's studio. We'll come over to mine. We'll just chill.
They'll
live
peek
stream together.
through my green screen.
Yeah,
when I'm streaming.
we'll come scare metal at least 3 times a week.
Yeah.
That's epic. We
Yeah.
got a winner, guys. Let's go ahead and fire that off. Here is on screen. You will see the ID that we chose. We will be pairing all of these to their particular usernames and sending those out after the stream concludes. So obviously we're the ones sending this to you. So since we're sitting here, it's kind of hard to do that live on the spot. So when the stream concludes, you will have some Royale Passes or UC, whatever you win today, sent to you directly within the next 24 hours. So sit tight on that. Congratulations to 521708484. Good job.
Congrats.
Congrats.
So there it is. We have an amazing rest of talking points to go through over the rest of this podcast. But guys, now would be a great time to ask us some questions. If there's anything that y'all are interested in with regards to content creation, PUBG Mobile, even personal stuff we'd be happy to discuss that with you. So feel free to shoot us some questions, man.
Yeah, we'll be looking in the chat for any of the questions that you guys have. So if you see us with our phones out,
That is why.
it's just because we're trying to look. At
Yeah,
the
for
chat.
sure. We're not like, this is boring. I'm going to look at my Twitter feed. No, yeah, we're checking for questions from you guys. Real quickly, while we wait for some of those to roll in, I got to ask, Royale Pass, right? We've had a recent one come out, season Pass 13. I am a big fan of every pass, except for maybe one of them wasn't my style. And I want to ask you guys about what style do you prefer when it comes to Royale Passes? Metal, let's start with you. Are you more of a realistic guy? Do you like the army camo stuff? Or are you more of a like neon, like loud and, hey, look at me?
Honestly, I'm more of just a collection guy or like an MMO RPG guy who just loves any skins. More specifically, I think whenever they had that whole Samurai Royale Pass, a lot of people liked that, but I liked it because it had so much different, it was like samurais and Vikings throughout that entire season.
Okay.
And so for that, and the backpacks were sick, the helmets were sick, everything matched. And
So you're more like a completionist, like you like to get it all, like.
well, a little bit. I like the diversity that the game has. I like that there's camo because there used to be no camo, and then they started
Yeah,
really.
what was it, like season 5, season 6?
Well, they started
finally-
listening to people.
Yeah.
People were like, we want this, and they put it in. So it's like, I'm not a completionist, but I like having silly like giant bear outfit or
Sure.
a chicken outfit like Wynn. But I also like, okay, I'll have a sick looking military outfit or like a skeleton face because TDM they had ranked, and if you hit a certain rank, you got a skeleton mask, and that like fit
Hell yeah.
some of my outfits perfectly.
We'll come back to the rest of our answers on that in just a moment, but Brendan Witching over on Twitch asked us, what is the best loadout these days? I'm going to direct this question at Rolex because it was very specific. Like, what is the best ratio of heals, of boosts, of ammo? Like, how do you break down your backpack? And I want to get the perspective of a pro player here, or at least a former pro in Rolex. Like, what do you think is the best ratio? Like, how do you, like, because that's something that I personally could learn a lot from because, I've got my, breakdown of a few boosts and 3 heals or whatever and 300 ammo or whatever. Like, but I know when I see pro players, they always seem to have like 4,000 smoke grenades, 72 frags, and it's like, how do you break that down and fit it into your bag?
So for sure, 10 smokes is important because you have to
10?
rotate. 10.
I have 4.
10. No,
I always have 4.
At least 6, maximum 10, and that's
So
always what I carry because of the
auto pickup,
rotations.
how many do you set on auto pickup? Do you set 10?
9.
Okay, so
9
you're
auto
a
pickup,
9 auto pickup
right.
on smoke grenades.
Yeah.
What about frags?
Frags 4. Four
Holy
is
crap.
four is super
What do you
important.
keep? One clip?
No. So 10 smokes, nades is 4. Mollies you can use around 1 or 2, and then for ammo, usually I carry around like 150 to 200. But
That's
it's
so
because
limited.
Do you not miss your shots? Like ever? Because I'd potato at
Never.
least.
never. I'm
Wow,
just kidding. No,
bro.
we
He
do.
looks at the camera.
No,
Yo,
no, but
chat, this has got to be enlightening for y'all. I mean, I know the default loadouts, I know whatever, but dude, 10 smokes, 4 nades, 1 or 2 mollies. I feel like that's the majority of the bag space right there.
No, it's important to have smokes for rotations, nades for that's easy knocks,
Assaults and yeah.
super easy knocks, And so, I mean, ammo wise, as a team, you probably have around 600 rounds, 500 rounds, and so if you run out,
Do you break
ask a
that
teammate.
down in a squad? Do you have specific roles where somebody's carrying a little bit more ammo than someone else, or is everybody kind of
not
roughly
really.
the
It's
same?
usually just yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty much all like same.
Dang.
Juicy, he usually carries like 9 nades. I don't know why. He loves his grenades and his
I've
smokes.
noticed
I'm
he's more
imagining
of
that
a forward scout, right? Where he's
Right,
like
yeah, he's-
off on the flank. He's not really engaging. He's more collecting information.
Correct,
So
yeah.
he's collecting that info, trying to direct the squad. So that makes sense why he would kind of, let's initiate this fight with some bombs and yeah, okay,
yeah.
interesting. What does your normal loadout look like?
I'm glad you asked because I am well known in my stream chat as a professional looter. I'm very, very good when it comes to
He keeps
acquiring.
lots of heals and does not use them.
I don't know. I feel like as someone who I recently tried to make the shift to like more of a rank pusher than just like a content kind of guy. I would be that guy that would hot drop and die, but hey, if 1 out of the 10 drops was a video, I was good, right? That was kind of my strategy. But now, I've been trying to tweak some of my auto pickup stuff. I carry a little bit more rounds, but as I'm listening to you, I'm thinking, you know, as long as you land your shots, like,
Right.
you can just replenish off of that body.
Exactly,
so you kind of keep it
Right.
going, right?
Yeah.
I've always been like, I need to get 300 rounds right now. But, you know, as long as you can get to the bodies and loot them, you're going to be able to replenish. And I think my biggest challenge is I'm getting a lot of like long range kills, and I never get the chance to get over to their bodies to like kind of replenish their
That's
stuff.
me, man, because I'm
Yeah.
a sniper,
You're a
right?
sniper.
Like,
Yeah.
give me that Car 98, give me that M24 right here in the foreground. Thank you, Metal, by the way. It was a gift from Medalcore on the set today. So we have a beautiful M24, and it's not real, guys. Just so you know, it's got the orange tip on it. It's a toy. It's an airsoft gun. So, but it's a cool prop nonetheless. Love the M24, and we can shoot airsoft pellets at each other. But I don't recommend that. But that being said, I'm a sniper, man. Give me that bolt, put me on, you know, the rear guard basically, and let me like start off a fight with a knock so we can like send the hounds basically. That's how I play, and I find that looting in the open field is challenging for me because it's like I'll knock somebody that's 250 meters away, and it's either like not in a good spot to go get or whatever. So I end up taking a lot more like 5.56 ammo and less utility because I'm typically trying to stay in the open. And it's not like super competitive, it's just the way I prefer to play. So, Metal, what about you? Keep a bunch of stuff?
For like 2 years of the game being out, I played on thumbs, and I was like almost religious about it. I was like, okay, it needs to be default layout, everything's default. And it wasn't until one of my friends was like, just switch to claw. Here's an easy setup. So I took the time, and I finally started playing claw. And as like a competitive person, I really it like allowed for me to do the things that my brain was telling me to do. It was like, okay, I want to crouch and shoot, or I want to aim and shoot or peek or do what my brain's telling me to do. And ever since then, I've been able to change having double ARs to being able to rely on shotguns or be really good at sniping. And it's all because of that switch of having more capabilities with more fingers on the screen. And
That makes sense.
I've
I've seen a lot of people rocking the Uzi.
yeah,
as
the
a- as
Uzi's
a
been
secondary.
the
That's
Uzi's
the meta right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
Uzi. I'm pretty proud of. I used to suck with shotguns. If I saw a shotgun, I'm like, I'm dead. Game over. But
I still am 100% sucking
no,
with
I
shotguns.
feel like so confident with shotguns. Like I think we did a 1v1 against Win, and it was his first time playing against me after I played to Claw.
Yeah.
And Rolex was like helping Win. He's like,
Yeah, oh,
hey
sure.
bro,
I was
like
trying to
he
help
was
him,
trying to
but it
help
was
because
like
I
20
got
to
better.
10. I was like,
I
yo.
So, speaking of like weapons and like what guns we prefer to use, Kareem Ataya on YouTube actually asked what two guns, so like he's limiting it to two, like basically A slot, B slot, what two guns are the must-haves? Like what would you prefer to rock over any other weapon? Let's not get map specific here, just what are your two favorite weapons? Start with Win.
It's a little bit controversial, but I love the 2x scope, and
Controversial indeed.
I pair that with the M4. I love just kind of like a vert grip, stock, extended quick draw mag, compensator 2x, and like I've just been able to really get the recoil down on that gun. I get some people always ask me if I'm like, you know, not playing legit, and I kind of take it as a compliment because I'm like, if my recoil control is that good, then you know, so be it. But that would be my first slot.
Twitchy fingers, man.
I know, right? And second slot, probably a bolt action, AWM if I can get it out of a crate. But you know, I feel like most people, if you love sniping, you got to pick the AWM, right?
Sure, man. We'll go around the horn. For me, bolt action is like if I have to roll two bolt actions, I'm good. That's fine. No problem. Car 98 AWM, cool. That makes me happy. But no, bolt action is probably my primary. That's what I'm always looking for. Give me the Car 98. I love the feel of the Car 98, but unfortunately it doesn't punch through that level 3 helmet in one shot, and that's the most important thing that you can have is the drops. That's why the AWM is the best weapon out there for me. But I do love the feel. Like overall experience, I gotta say M24. Packs a little bit more punch than the Car 98. The sound on it, especially when suppressed, oh my goodness, it is something else. Love the M24, my favorite weapon in the game. But if I had to pick one, AWM's gotta be it for the damage. On the AR side, I'm conflicted here because like I would probably go with
M4, right?
yeah,
You have
overall,
to.
it's,
He
you
wants to
gotta
say
pick-
AK.
But no,
No,
God,
there's no way,
not the
no.
AK, not the AK. But I really like the G36. I like the G36, but unfortunately, the Kendi's the only map that you can use it on. So I don't play the Kendi as much as I play the other maps. And you know, I would say they're a close in preference for me. And then I do like the AUG as well, but that's just again a crate weapon and a toss-up. So if I had a choice between an AUG and an M4, I go with an AUG. But the M4 is like, that's the move. That's the standard. You're always looking for the M4 when you're looting. You pick that up, and you know that's kind of what it is. What about you, Rolly?
I'd probably say the Scar.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Scar.
I agree with
M4.
him. I agree with the
You
Scar.
can use either of those, and then the Uzi for sure.
Damn, I've been
So
enlightened.
those those two ARs.
Are you a SCAR guy now over M4? Because you just 14
So it's
seconds
not-
ago, rewind it back.
No. So
It's got to be the M4, right? Rolex said that.
I don't want to say M4 because everyone's just using the M4. Like,
yeah,
as
but
the
are you
answer.
saying it
So
because that's your true choice, or are you a SCAR guy?
I'm saying it because that's my true choice.
Really?
So,
I
yeah,
hate
so-
the Scar.
Wow.
I'd have
I
to say-
love this Scar. Ever since I switched to Claw, sometimes I'll go M4 as my long range gun and Scar as my close range. I don't know why. Sometimes without the suppressor, it just sounds so sick, mowing down squads with the Scar. Like,
That's insane, dude. Chat's saying I picked SCAR over M4 as well. Switch Gaming just said that. So, I mean, there are some people out there that do prefer the SCAR. I mean, clearly, I think the data shows, and I think general consensus shows the M4 is easily the most popular weapon in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But the SCAR, you're hearing it here, guys. It does have viability in competitive play and at a high level. So, pick it up if you see it and get good. Metal, what about you, dude?
Yeah, like I used to always rock M4 AK, and even before when the game first came out, it was always an M4 and a UMP. And just as
UMP?
yeah,
That's
when
the
the game
worst
first came
gun
out.
in the
When the game
game.
first came out.
Oh, it's the worst
And I was a
gun.
thumbs player, so it was easy to control. The recoil wasn't super heavy because it was a slow shooting gun. And I still like the UMP now. I prefer the Uzi. I know Rolex is getting a little bit triggered. He's like,
It's gotta be
but,
the Uzi.
But yeah, like now that I switched to Claw, like my perfect setup would be like an M4 Scar and an AWM, just because I feel comfortable sniping now. Like I used to not be able to feel comfortable, and now it's like I'm getting snipes of people driving. They're driving. They're in a moving vehicle, and I'm sniping them. I'm like, what happened? Like,
I've seen those clips.
So it's just like,
they're pretty sick.
and yeah.
One combo that I want to say is pretty underrated is I love the M16 on single shot.
Yeah,
So
it's
one,
good.
Like
It's
I
good.
use assault rifles
Yeah,
actually.
I use that as well.
And the M16 suppressed sounds
Ooh,
so
yeah, the
cool. It
suppressed.
sounds so cool.
with like a 6x on there.
Yeah.
I just
it's
tried to
great.
make with my mouth. I tried to make the sound of it.
Kinda.
Suppressed. I'm an idiot.
Fail.
Check it off here. Powerbang's a dum-dum. Anyway,
Yeah.
M16
Well,
single shot.
single shot in general, though, on a lot of assault rifles. I recently uploaded a video that I kind of highlighted my progression and going back to season 1, season 2, and a lot of comments I got were people noticing that I was even using like the Uzi on single shot. I don't do that anymore.
Do you remember back in season 1 when single shot was kind of the meta?
Yeah.
Like,
It was, yeah.
was it
With the
okay,
8 times.
I gotta
8
ask.
times M4.
Right.
Remember
I gotta
that? That was
ask.
so
Like,
good.
oh yeah, the
do you
8
guys
times
remember
was
a
crazy.
change in PUBG? Did they change something in the settings to where, like, all of a sudden we could figure out how to control recoil better? Or was it a situation where we were just all noobs and couldn't figure out how to full auto spray at a significant distance? Because I remember, like, anything that was like 75 meters or more away, tap, 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 tap. I remember watching earlier videos. When I hit 1 million subscribers, I went back and looked at my whole like progression, similar to what you just did with your 1 through 800 day video. Dude, it was hard to watch the early stuff because it was just like, kill him, just kill him, pull the trigger, and it was just like tap, 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 tap.
I think
Did
there
the game
wasn't-
change, or
I
did
want
we
to say
change?
it was it harder to find ammo back in the day? Because I always was like trying to conserve my bullets. I didn't want to spray somebody 200 meters away and miss like 20 of the 30
I didn't notice
shots.
any difference in the loot.
No.
To be honest, I think what happened is people as mobile gamers and playing this game for such a long time is you've gotten comfortable with the game. You like
Yeah.
everybody who's playing this game has progressed. And that's one reason why I switched from thumbs to claw was I was like, people are just better. I need to like progress with them. Like I can't just stay like nothing wrong with thumbs. I'm pretty sure people who have thumbs and gyro. Do you play thumbs or
3-finger claw now.
three finger?
yeah.
Okay.
I switched.
So it's like yeah,
last year.
it's just like people are just getting better just because the game's been out for longer. So it's like the level that the people were playing on when the game first came out has highly increased, especially watching
Oh, it's
esports.
insane.
That is true.
Like if you
though.
watch
It's
esports,
insane how much better people have gotten over
Even
the
in classics and just classics, like there's so many sweaty gamers now.
For real, like
it's
I'm-
crazy.
a lot of you guys don't know this, but I have a lot of business stuff that I'm doing like behind the scenes, like doing productions and stuff. I'm working like literally with PUBG Mobile and a lot of different things. So my time to actually play the game has diminished quite substantially. And when I get in now, like if I don't practice a little bit, like dude, people are good. Like it's insane. Like when you guys are pushing rank, going Conqueror and Ace, the level of competition now, because I was Ace every season up through like season 5, 6,
Season 5 or
something
6,
like
something
that. And it was not hard. It was just a matter of
Oh,
logging
yeah.
on and playing. And like
We'll
now
just rush
it's like,
everyone.
yeah, you gotta be decent. Like there's
gotta think.
obviously the time played aspect is a huge factor, but you also have to be pretty good because the competition has definitely raised. I am seeing a question come in chat. There's rather not a question, but more of a debate raging right now. It's on scopes. So like if you're gonna be using an AR and you have a red dot, a 2x, a 3x, 4x, 6x, not an 8x anymore, but like what is the best scope for like spraying at a reasonable distance? Like a lot of people are saying 4X is trash. I'm the best with the 4X. Like, what do you think? Rolex, start with you.
6 times would probably be the best. The worst would probably be the hollow.
No,
there's
hollow.
There's some people who like the hollow. Like
I hate
you,
the
right?
hollow.
No, I hate the hollow.
you hate
the
the
hollow.
hollow?
No, we
Hollow,
like the
right?
2 times.
Yeah. Question on 6X. Are you talking 6X pulled back to 3?
Pull back to 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pull back to 3. Yeah.
Nobody's trying to spray with
Right?
a
No,
6
there's no,
as
no,
a 6.
no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
So
would
so the 6X reduced to a 3 would probably be the best, and then from there I'd probably go with the 3X because it's pretty much like
very smooth.
the 6 times, and then from there, personally,
Red dot.
4X is something that I've enjoyed since season 1. I've always been using that.
I remember through probably season 8, it was M44X.
M44X was
That's
my
it.
that was
That
my
was your
kit.
loadout.
That was my kit for
Yeah.
some odd reason. I don't know why. And then from there, I'd say the red dot, and then the hollow, and the 2 times are the worst by far.
You don't like the red dot?
You don't like the red dot, really?
I like it, but I mean, like for spraying wise, I would.
He also likes to be able to
I
see.
prefer the.
Okay, yeah.
You also
6
never
times or 3.
stand spray. I feel like you always crouch. Like muscle
I always
memory.
crouch.
Yeah, so that's another
So it
thing.
helps out with
the 4X.
recoil.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Whenever you crouch, it helps out with recoil.
Yeah.
I got way too clumsy of fingers to do that, and so that's probably part of my issue on recoil control. Yeah, I'll try crouching a little bit
crouching.
more. I did that yesterday in my video, and
There you
I
go.
clapped the guy right out of a
There
bar.
you
So maybe
go.
it works.
you go.
Metal, what about you, dude?
I'm with Win on the 2 times, but that's for close range combat. Like 2 times red dot for close range combat, and for long range, as long as I have a 3 times, a 4 time, like as long as I got that 3 times, I'll be happy. Just for the long range combat, and then like, cause you have a 6 that you'll just end up putting to a 3, so I'm okay with the 3 times and I feel comfortable with it, and I choose the 3 times over the 4 times. I don't
Most
know.
people do.
Yeah, like, but I can use the 4 times. Like, I remember the other day I was streaming and someone was like, "Can Metal use the 4 times?" And then I guess I didn't see his comment. I used the 4 times. I got like a squad wipe, and they're like, "Oh, I guess Metal can use the 4 times." So it's like, I think the only thing that I feel uncomfortable with is the hollow. I just do not like the hollow
So
at all.
on the hollow, like one thing I've noticed with that is like when I aim down the sights and I shoot with the hollow, I feel like the outer there's a ring and a dot, right? The dot is where ideally you want your shots to go, and that's like the center of your reticle. I feel like the ring of the circle actually rotates around the target when you shoot. Like I feel like it's almost like a circular pattern, and you hit everywhere but the dot. Like that's just my personal experience. I don't know.
That's how I feel, 100%.
It just like literally you put your crosshair, the dot on the person's head, and it literally just circles around it. So you just continually miss. That's my hollow experience. For me, I think right now I'm probably the most comfortable spraying with a 4X. That's new for me.
Really?
Yeah, I've always hated the 4X.
I know you did. I remember.
I was never a 4X guy, and recently I tweaked my sensitivity, and I think I just found the perfect sensitivity for an AR on the 4X. So now it's like an absolute laser, but I still think my favorite scope for an AR would be the 3X just because of the distance on it. I find myself in situations oftentimes where it's just like 4X is just too close.
Yeah.
Like we're in a room. With a 3X, I can still probably make a play. With a 4X, it's just like I'm looking past him and I can't even find the guy. So 3X is probably my favorite all-around scope. The 6X and the 8X I've been rocking on snipers, and since I am a bolt action guy, if I have a 6, it's going on the Car 98 or the AWM or whatever.
Yeah, I make
So-
that choice too.
Love the red dot though. A lot of hate on the hollow, but love the red dot. Checking the chat really quickly. AKM irons for the win is something, and
for
I
sure.
agree.
Oh, yeah.
Do you concur?
Yeah. No, 100%.
I hated it,
It's
and
only.
then, but then I think as I kind of progressed as a player and got better, I started to like it. Yeah.
What about the Scar
The
iron
Scar
sight?
iron sights are
Scar iron sight,
controversial
no.
too. I like the Scar though.
I
don't.
started being okay with the Scar iron sights. Like,
The little circle made me feel like I kind of had a scope without having a scope.
but
and
then
that's why I liked
sometimes
it.
it's like the circle and the line of like the.
Yeah.
It's like it's hiding the person you're trying to get. So like
It
that's
could be
my
obtrusive
problem.
for sure.
For
Yeah.
sure. Question from AX Cato and from Drift King. A whole bunch of people actually. A lot of people asking about the canted sights. That's new to the game as of this
Yes.
last update. 0.18 canted sight came out. Essentially, it's kind of like a red dot, but it goes in addition to other scopes that you have on the gun. It's a secondary, and you can toggle to it anytime, and it kind of tilts the gun sideways like a lean peek, and you've got another reticle there. Do you like the canted sight? Do you use it? Is there value?
So I like the canted sight, but the biggest thing for me was I feel like I have a lot of buttons on my HUD, right? And I
And
just
it's an
don't want
extra
to add
button.
another button.
Yeah.
And the same debate goes for like the people that break out the vault from the jump. And they
Right.
tell me to do that because there's been a lot of times I've died from accidentally vaulting, but I'm like, I just don't want to deal with another button.
My number of times dying from actual vaulting instead of jumping is running into the 4 digits now. Like, I have done that so many. Dude, there was a game the other day. I had a guy probably at 5 HP. I landed like four white hit markers on him, and I was literally just gonna jump over this little like wall that he was hiding behind. He was crouching, trying to like, you know, get a heal, and I'm like, oh no, man, I'm gonna push. And like I meant to jump and just shoot him over the wall. It vaulted, and in the time like I did the little animation, he killed me, and I almost threw my phone. I was so mad, but I still can't be bothered to turn on the vault like separate feature simply because it's another button. Me on the canted site, I don't know. I still haven't used it, like, again, because it's another button, and I feel like I'm usually rocking a red dot on a weapon, and rather than click a button to change to the canted sight, although it's a very quick swap, just like a couple tenths of a second, I still will just click my weapon and whip out like my AR or something that has a red dot on it. That's just how I rock. So no canted sight for me just yet, but I'm not saying I'm right. I just haven't used it. What about you, Rolly?
I'm not a fan of it at all. I've tried it once or twice maybe, and I just can't get used to it. I mean, I don't know if I'm just old school and I just like, you know, my layout, but I just can't use the canted sight.
Now, is it the way it feels and shoots, or is it just like kind of like visibility? Like Her Gaming was pointing out in chat that it's kind of bulky on the right side, like when it kind of kinks over, like
that's also annoying. That's a part of it too, and then also like the reticle. It's not like
it's an X, and it's kind of far apart. Like
it's not in the middle of the scope for some odd reason, and so it's like lower down, and it just always makes me miss my shots.
The scope seems like a half of a red dot, so it's even smaller. Like it looks really small. I like the canted. I was so excited because every time I see a new feature, I'm like, yes, something new, something to do. I agree that it's like a lot on the screen, but I just made it my setup comfortable where I could swap it. And sometimes it's just like, if I have a specific setup where I have I need a 6 times on my M4, but I don't have anything else as a close range weapon, maybe I have a 6 times M4 and a sniper and a 6 times, then I'll use the canted on my M4 for close range, and
that makes sense. I think that's what it's for. You know, like that's like the use case for it. I mean, you could throw a canted on your sniper rifle, but like honestly, if I'm getting pushed by like somebody and I've got a 6X on my Car 98, like I'm not gonna try to red dot him like close range. I'm just gonna no scope, you know, and obviously hit the headshot. But,
you're right.
You know, like I don't know. I just can't find a way where I would use it.
For me, it's 2 taps to just do the quick scope switch instead of 1 tap. Right. I'd rather just throw on a red dot on my gun instead of just go to the canted.
I got a loaded question, dude. Trash Silent over on Twitch. This one's gonna be fun for me to ask because I already know at least the sentiment from one particular person on our set today. Trash Silent wants to know, what do we think about the new ranking system and like kill to death ratios and stuff?
Oh my gosh, dude.
I think we're all in agreement on this, honestly.
Don't even
no, I don't think we
started.
are. I think we should discuss this.
Don't even get me started.
Let's talk about the new kill to death ratio. What have they done? Like they've changed it more to like a kills per match type of a ranking.
It's an average kills. It's not actually
average kills instead of like a total KD over the course of many matches. So what are your thoughts on that?
So my thoughts are, I like the average kills because it helps us find players who are not really playing fairly a lot easier, right? So if you now under the new system, if you see somebody that has 50 kills a match, you're like, that's really easy to spot. Now, as you'll hear from Rolex, under the old system, you could be a legit player and have 50 kills, you know, right? Because there was a way to do that.
So Rolex, though, like you have your KD is insane. Like last season, season 12, you finished top 100 in North America, Conqueror. You've been Conqueror pretty much every season, right?
I have.
Like, so
except for one season.
Season 1?
No, it was season 1. There was one player who had Conquer, and I believe that was
they didn't really
D2E.
Make season 1. They didn't have like ranks really established yet. That was still like new to the game, and it was like a mid-season, like, oh, by the way, this is what we're doing. But you've been. The point being is you're a really good player. You've been Conqueror a lot. So season 12, your kill to death ratio. I'm not gonna say it. Like I know what it is, but I want you to say it because I want you to humble brag here a little bit.
I think it was like a high in the 30s, like.
High 30s.
35?
Like, come on, bro. You know
35,
you kill to
36?
death. You know
I don't have them all memorized. So season 10, I had a 210 KD. I was grinding with the pro team SSG at the time, and we were just trying as hard as we possibly can.
Yeah, you were playing seriously, like as if
we were actually playing as if it was a tournament. Sure. And so, you know, it was like a 210 KD, and then now. It's just not possible anymore. You just can't have those numbers anymore.
Do you want to kind of explain to those who might not understand how it's possible to get a 210 KD under the old system?
Yeah, so pretty much...
so say you were rocking like 10 hills a game.
Right.
You're going 21 games in a row.
Without
basically,
dying.
Without dying.
dying,
Which means winning chicken dinners 20 games in a row.
Right.
And so that was his average. So he would die every 20 games, averaging 10 kills a game, and like have a massive, massive KD. Whereas now it's not reflected in the stats. It's more of an average kill. So instead of a 210 KD, it would be like 10.
9 KD.
Yeah,
or
9.
10 KD.
So that's what you're
kinda
rocking
I
now,
have.
right? Is it
Right.
9?
A 9.
Personally, I don't mind the system because I want a more accurate representation. See, like, my thoughts are maybe this is 2 separate stats, right? Maybe you have an overall KD so you can maintain like what Rolex has done, but also like I love a per match representation of like how good is this guy, how much should I watch out for him, kind of a thing. Like I want to know if somebody's out there averaging 15 kills a game, he's a monster. Like I do not want anything to do with that man. Somebody's out there averaging 3 kills a game, but he's got a massive deal. That just tells me he's snaking the whole time, you know? I don't have to worry about him being super aggressive or anything like that. So I kind of like the stat. I just wish there was kind of like 2 things. What about you, Metal?
I thought that there was a way that you can also still see your KD, but it's just not like up in your face like it is when you look at your account.
So it's still there, but
It's just not like up. It's not like
One
I think
thing
this
that-
season, it's a transition this season, so I want to say they're showing the old, and
Just
it
for
might go.
now.
It might go in next season. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Got a question from a sniper to a sniper. Hot Jukes over on Twitch has just asked, shout out Hot Jukes, by the way. I hope you're doing well, buddy. He just asked me specifically if I could change the 8x scope, change the reticle to the new Winchester 94 2.7x scope that just came out, would I do it? Would I swap the 8x for the 2.7, the reticle, like the actual crosshair? I don't know. I feel like I almost need to drop into a game. I've never actually considered that question. I will say yes. Yes, that's my gut feeling on it. I am not a huge fan of the 8x scope. I much prefer the 6 as far as the reticle and the way it looks.
can you say why? Like why?
I don't like big pronounced dots. I'm not somebody that calibrates distance. Like if you're a real sniper in real life, right? Your reticle tells you how to adjust your aim for distance and for wind and this kind of thing. Like you're actually making adjustments to your scope. In a video game, for me, it's a little bit more by feel. You know,
Yeah,
like I
yeah,
can look
yeah.
at somebody and be like, he's about 250 meters, plus or minus. You know, I'm not actually going to line up how big, you know, or how, you know what I mean? Like it's just
You make
more
the
of a looks
assumption.
thing. So for me, it's like, give me something that is very accurate, to the point, and unobtrusive. Like I don't want to really focus on the reticle, and that's why I like the Winchester, where it's like a very thin line. You got your X, just put that X about where it needs to go, and pull the trigger. And so I don't know. It's as a sniper, like it's more of a fluid feeling. And I don't know. Chat, tell me what you guys think. Would you change the 8X for the 2.7? Rolly's shaking his head. No. I lean towards yes. I don't know. It's a good question.
Hey, don't look
I
at
think I'm
me.
just old school. That's the thing. Is like I just like
I'm old
things
school.
that are just like how
It ain't
it
broke, don't
was
fix
back
it.
then, and just keep it that way.
Yeah.
One thing you did
That's why I
change
don't really
though,
like
you
new
took the
things.
red dot, and didn't you make it like a little green triangle, like the little
Yeah,
upside
yeah.
down
You could
V?
you could change the some reticles. You can change either the color or like the
shape.
the style.
Yeah.
So I like that. That's
Yeah,
That's cool,
I really
that's cool.
like that in PUBG. There's a feature where you can customize your scope and your reticle. And for me, right now, I'm rocking pink. I don't know. You know,
I can't do that. I gotta have the
think
red
I have
dot.
It'll
and I
make
can't-
sense in October when it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, guys.
Yeah,
just
Yeah,
trying to
I'm
get
okay
ready.
with I'm okay with changing colors too.
Yeah,
like-
so right now I'm rocking pink. For the longest time, I went yellow. And generally speaking, this dates all the way back to my Counter-Strike professional days, like years and years ago. I don't like bold colors for crosshairs. I want to look past my crosshair to the target and have it not be very defined. Like I want to see it, so I don't want it like super transparent or super like blendy in. But I also want it to not be like the bold red where it's a stark contrast. That's just a personal preference, and I don't think there's a right way to go about it. I think it's just all about what your eyes are comfortable with and what you see. The reticle itself, currently, like for the red dot, I'm using the T, where it's like the 2 flat ones and the 1 bottom one, and there's no
Yeah,
top.
no top one.
And so for me, it's like a good way to like get the level correct, and then that bottom part just helps me line it up, and then the top part I don't put there, so it doesn't obstruct my view of like if I'm aiming for chest, I can still see the head and kind of like maintain visibility. Again, very, very small obstruction of view. It's not like it's a big deal there. It's just like what I'm rocking right now, and I've found it to be pretty good.
the crazy thing about all that is there's all this customization on a mobile game. And the reason
Right.
why I'm saying that is because I was such an avid PC gamer or all this stuff, and that was the one thing I liked. I liked being able to customize everything, and I could just do that on PUBG Mobile, which is absolutely insane to me. It's like now we can change reticles, we can change like the colors of this or that and change the graphics. Oh, do you like your graphics to be movie mode they have? I have colorful. They've got classic. It's like when I saw that first come out, I'm like, what the heck? This is insane.
That's
so
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you select movie mode, they actually have somebody that comes out, does your makeup for your videos and stuff.
You're
it's
right.
Really cool.
You're
Pretty cool.
right.
Speaking of videos, a little bit, Cupid of Crime asked a question over on Twitch. Cupid wants to know, this is more of a deep question, and I encourage you guys to ask these. We're happy to answer them. This is a great forum to have this exchange. Basically, she wants to know, has there ever been a time when you wanted to give up or not progress or go any further? You ever been discouraged, essentially? If so, what was that like? I mean, I can picture what your answers might be, but I'd love to hear it from you. When?
I don't know. It's a really good question. I think the only one time that I've really ever given up on something, I kind of deeply regret it actually, is I was a track runner in college, and I ran track for 7 semesters. And on my 8th semester, I just I could not do it anymore, right? And I had never really been
Why?
quit.
Mental or physical?
It was, I'd say both. It was both. I was
So it was a
really
grind on your body?
I'd
or-
been running for 12 years, and the biggest thing that I always wanted to experience was what is it like to be a college student that just goes to class and goes home, right?
Yeah.
No practice.
Sure.
I fixated on that. So my last semester, I took fun art classes. I focused on my YouTube videos, and I gave track up. That was a really.
So you say it's a
big thing.
regret.
Yeah.
But did you find enjoyment out of that time?
Yeah,
Or-
absolutely. Yeah. Oh, it was really eye opening. I had my best grade point average that semester. It was a complete difference. But I guess looking back on it, I kind of feel like I wish I had.
You wish you pushed through.
I pushed through and did all 4 completed seasons. But at the same time, I do know that I probably wouldn't have had kind of that launch into YouTube if I didn't
Sure.
free up the time. So,
Of course. Let me ask you why though. Why do you wish you would have pushed through? Do you think it would have given you a sense of fulfillment or satisfaction or completionism? What's the reason behind why you wanted to push through in retrospect?
I think your teammates, those are your biggest friends in college. Those are the people that, when you think back, they're the ones that I remember, right? It was much more than just the actual sport. It really builds who you are. And that's the one thing I kind of never saw to completion. Everything else, I'm a grinder. With YouTube, I was I'm gonna do this till I'm successful or I die trying, right? And I guess that's the one.
Yeah,
one
I think for me, it's I'm super relatable, that whole story, because I was a college athlete as well. I played Division I college baseball. I thought I was going to be a professional baseball pitcher. Unfortunately, got a nice little zipper on the arm there. It's Tommy John surgery. It kind of ended my career. But it ended my career by choice, right? I could have kept playing. I could have been a successful, college baseball pitcher. But for me, the aspiration was always to go professional. And the whole point of going to college, I did have an offer to play pro baseball out of high school, and I got called in the 10th round of the 2002 baseball draft, dating myself a bit here. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to hold out. I'm not going to go pro out of high school because I'm going to go to college. I'm going to spend 3 years there. I'm going to get bigger. I'm going to get faster. I'm going to get stronger. I'm going to throw harder. I'm going to get smarter. I'm going to face good competition and gain experience. And then I got hurt. And I was in my freshman year of college, and it was dude, when I came back, I was throwing 91 miles an hour on my fastball as a right-handed pitcher. So it was good, not great. But when I came back from my injury, I was only throwing 86. And so for me, foregoing the offer that I had out of high school with the intention of getting better and being worth more, that was no longer a reality, because 86 mile an hour fastball throwing right-handed pitchers, they aren't going to make what, a 91 mile an hour, a 94 or 5. So my intent was to get stronger, and that just wasn't going to be the case. And so I made the decision to leave baseball behind. That was a very difficult decision because I grew up playing competitively. My sports was my life. I was always super, super competitive, and I never lost a game. Literally, my entire time growing up, Little League, high school, was 31-0 throughout high school, had a 1 ERA. For those of you guys that are baseball nerds, that'll actually make sense. Everyone else, right over your head. But essentially, really good at baseball, and then all of a sudden that was no longer part of my identity, and that was really hard for me to figure out what do I do with my life now? Do I get a job? Do I go to school and finish that out? And I did. I went to school, finished my degree, and then I got a job, and all of a sudden, as I gained more responsibility, I had a job, thankfully, that was focused in emergency response, and had an opportunity to play some YouTube, stuff. Or
there weren't a lot of emergencies.
Games. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of emergencies, so I was good to play mobile games, and that led into hey, you're really competitive. You should lead our clan. And it was I don't know, I don't want to do that. And then all of a sudden I'm a clan leader, and then all of a sudden we have literally my clan that I founded in Clash of Clans is literally one of the top clans in the world today. They've been to ESL and won like the Mobile Open, which that's kind of crazy, you know, to like leave that legacy behind. But I've kind of since left that behind and I've, you know, been focusing on PUBG. So I don't have regrets about the path that I chose because I think I'm where I'm supposed to be. Relating to like content creation and games and business and everything, I've never once faltered, wavered, felt like, oh, this is too much. It does get stressful. It is a grind. This is not easy. But I've never personally been close to like the edge of like giving up. So that's my personal stance on it. What about you, Rolly?
I'm trying to think of a situation. I think that the closest I would probably have for that would probably be school. Mm-hmm. Like the past few years, me trying to play competitive PUBG Mobile.
Because you're going to school to be a doctor, right? You were going to school.
I was, yeah.
Okay. Fill us in on that. Like what was your career choice or whatever?
So pretty much I was planning to become a physician, and 2 months ago I finished my 4 years of undergrad, and now it's either I do YouTube or I do med school. And so, you know, last year was really stressful just because I wasn't competitive. I was a YouTuber, and then also I had to have a 4.0 GPA because I was planning to go to med school, and it's hella competitive, and it was just super stressful. But I'm trying to think of
the regret part, basically.
The regret part, which I mean I don't really have, but like right now I have to make a decision pretty close in 2 years or so whether I'm gonna do YouTube or go to med school, and that's kind of stressful. It's always in the back of my mind, and obviously
Rolex.
My parents want me to go to med school, and so I mean, you know, it's just kind of school has been really stressful the past few years.
You just have to make important decisions, like kind of, you know, thinking and listening to you guys. It's like with baseball and me with track, like eventually you have to step away, and you just hope that that's like in the time that was the right thing you did.
Right.
And you won't know until later.
Yeah.
You know.
And you know, you
may never know.
Yeah, you could go on and be a super successful doctor and maybe look back and be like, man, that YouTube thing, I really wish I went with it, right? Or it could go the other way. You just gotta, you know, make a decision and then.
Sure. I think generally speaking, it's like, you know, following your passion and like what makes you happy. That's the end of the day what you should do. What about you, Metal?
I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, like, if we're gonna get deep, I mean, we're all talking about stuff. I've been doing videos and like not just YouTube, but just making videos to watch with my cousin or whatever. Like we would pretend that we were like in a zombie apocalypse, and we were in one apartment and we had to like close the door and like just like we were pretending, but it was all in video. Like it's been part of my life for such a long time. And so when high school started, I started doing YouTube a lot more, but the only people who watched it were like these high school friends that I had, and they were such bullies to me about it. Like I made videos all the time and they would bully me about my videos, and I feel like if I didn't have that affect me so much, I could have gotten much further in a faster amount of time. But because that was affecting me, I was like, okay, well maybe I shouldn't do YouTube. Maybe I should just like be behind the camera and not be in front of the camera, et cetera, et cetera. So it was like, if I was in front of the camera more like I am now, maybe things could have been progressed faster. So yeah, don't let your high school bully friends like push you in a direction that So I mean, I'm making videos now as well as being behind the camera, and I love it. So
I think it's tough. One thing I would say to aspiring creators is that like we all go through several years of, why are you making these videos every day? Like,
not just
nobody's
your friends,
watching,
your family.
Like, you're wasting your time, right? I kind of had a similar thing. I was blessed to have like a really supportive family, but I do know at times like my mom or my dad would kind of be like, why are you quitting your amazing job in New York and going across the country to some random startup? And I'm just like, this is what I want to do. This is my passion. It's gaming. It's streaming. And media. I was 21 and I had a retirement plan. I had like my desk job, my benefits, and I sat there and just like, do I want to be in this cubicle for the next 40 years? Sure. But like I could do so much more. And it's like really coming to grips with that.
One of the things that I would say too is like trying to like broaden perspective on like what possibilities are. Like a lot of people, I'm looking at chat and it's like, dude, how is that even a question? Doctor versus YouTuber. And it's like, YouTube is the gateway, right? Like that's the engine that makes everything else churn. And like for me, I've opened up so many doors and possibilities and opportunities and business ventures, and like I'm doing so much more than YouTube these days that it's incredible. And so it's not just about like this versus that, like very black and white. It's very gray. And like being able to do your own thing for a period of time can open up doors from just the networking experiences that you have. Like if you really think about it, I have over 2 million followers online, and like if I was just looking for a new adventure someday, I could put out a tweet or a YouTube video, be like, hey man, I'm looking for a new adventure. Drop me your email or whatever. And like I couldn't even imagine the type of stuff that would come in to my inbox. It would be insane. So I mean, while it definitely is, you know, there's a safe route to go, like not everyone's built like the same way. So I would advise, like, you know, consider like the opportunities that could come as a potential of following a certain path. And I think as long as you're putting food on the table and providing, you know, for yourself and your family, you know, I don't think that there's a wrong decision there. So that being said, there's a unique question that just came up in chat. This is like kind of a deep one. Pranav on YouTube has been asking about sports psychology and whether or not esports teams should have a sports psychologist on staff. How would that benefit them? I think it's a unique question. I know organizations out there like Team Queso have had a sports psychologist on staff. And from what I understand, it's worked really well. And I think that mental health is a very important part of content creation, of grinding, of esports. I think all of that is super helpful. Curious to hear your thoughts. Like, is that something that people should consider? There's been some comments as well to combat that viewpoint that, whoa, mobile games. But I would advise also people not to be so short-sighted, because there is tremendous opportunity here. PUBG Mobile is giving away $5 million this year in this particular game to winners of a singular competition. So I mean, you know, LOL esports, like that might be your viewpoint and you'll never put yourself out there to like take advantage of these opportunities, but other people might, you know, be willing to do that for themselves. So what are your thoughts?
So just so I understand Pranav's question, are you saying in the context of like having
like should an esports team have a sports psychologist?
Like
on
a
staff?
mental health like kind of counselor? Yeah, I think my first thought is, unfortunately, as mobile continues to grow and it's still in its infancy, a lot of orgs may not have enough funds to cover just a psychologist for the team.
Right.
I think that's the case across the board. I think very few, less than 10% of organizations would actually have the budget and the funds to be able to bring a qualified individual in, and not just a homie that's like, hey man, tell me about your problems or whatever. Even though like talking openly, talking openly is still obviously encouraged and healthy, but like having a qualified professional in there is a whole different story.
Yeah, so if we were to, you know, put the money aspect aside and just say, should they have that? I think absolutely. I mean, we've seen some organizations that are at the top of their respective games. They have dietitians on staff. They've got like state-of-the-art houses where they train for gaming and then have like exercise, and they have like regiments and routines. And to reach the absolute top status in your game or be the absolute best in the world, like that's kind of what you need almost. And as you said, in all facets of whether it's competitive play, content, like your mental health will take a toll. Like nobody ever got to the top just doing the bare minimum. Like we're really pushing ourselves to the limits.
It takes a lot of mental fortitude to do this, and if you have any sort of like wavering confidence or you know, like, oh man, is this gonna work out for me? Like it can really eat at you. So you really have to be steadfast mentally, and having someone else to talk to, I think, could play a really pivotal role in like helping with that reassurance and helping with like, you know, taking time off from games and like doing other stuff. But also not beating yourself up about stuff that maybe you shouldn't be. Roy, what do you think? I mean, you've actually been in an esports role. I know the pressure's like it's immense. Like, what's that like being inside of a team where there's expectation and there's pressure from the public to deliver a strong performance?
So it's really stressful. I've seen a lot of players, they take things to heart and they see these comments and they're like, oh, this person says that I'm trash at this game, and they're like, they really get hurt. And I mean, if I had one tip to say, I would say to just not care about what people say, because there's always going to be people who are going to be telling you things and who are just going to hate you for no reason. Just try your best, and I think that pretty much. Where was I going with that? I kind of lost my train of thought.
You have to
don't beat yourself up for what people say. Like for me personally, like, you know, I could go find a lot of negative things that people say, like, oh, he's fat, he's annoying, like, who cares? Like, yeah, I am what I am, accept me or not. Like, you just kind of have this mentality that, like, you want to stay middle of the road, right? Like, you don't want to look at what people are telling you, like the positive reassurance. You don't want to be like, oh, he's amazing, he's the best sniper, he's the best player, he's so handsome. Like, you don't want to listen to any of that either. Like, it's like, thank you, I appreciate the compliment, but don't let your ego, like, go crazy, right? Like, you want to just be, like, who you are, stay grounded, but also the people that want to talk crap, like, who cares? Like, let it slide off your back and realize, like, dude, you can't please everybody. don't even try. Just be yourself, be authentic, and hopefully people will gravitate that are like-minded towards you. So, Metal, what about you, dude?
I think that with not just esports, but content creation, mental health is just like a really important thing. And since esports is still so new, not every person or every country really sees the capabilities that esports has. Like, for example, when I went to Denmark, I saw like I don't know if it was a high school or a university advertising for their esport like team. And it was I was just like, I don't think I've seen something like that in the US. That's absolutely insane. Like that it's gone to that level in that country, but not that level in our country. But yeah, with mental health and stuff like that, of course, having some kind of psychologist or anything on hand is good. But for like the first year or 2 years of me doing YouTube, that was like, it was really important to me, and it was like my main thing that I was doing. I didn't even have a mentor. And I think having any kind of mentor or someone who also does this to answer the questions, like for example, like PB, like if I have a question that no one in the world will know because like YouTube
and nobody even
no one
cares.
No one cares
because they can't relate.
They can't relate. They think, oh, just go work at Facebook, go do this, go that. It's like, or like you're doing this all by yourself. You're answering business emails, all this stuff, and so it's like you need to have someone who's in that industry who can just answer this simple question that's in your brain that could beat you up. And then someone like PB, for example, just like, oh, I've got a question, he answers it, makes me feel way better. It's just like, and that's just having a mentor like that is also huge, because I felt super alone for the first like year or so doing YouTube because I did it by myself. I didn't know what all these views meant. I didn't know the algorithms. It wasn't until recently where Wynn was like, "Hey, bro, look at the stats.
Look at the thing with the
And I was like,
the
"Oh, that's cool."
Look at all the analytics. Yeah.
Yo, let's talk giveaways. What do you say? I think it's time we slang some UC a little bit, guys. Thanks for hanging in and hanging out with us and asking us some awesome questions. We love chatting with you guys and having like just an open dialogue. Throw your profile ID in the chat right now. Throw it once. We're gonna pick 2 winners right now. $20 in UC coming right up. So throw your profile in there. We'll grab some of those and announce some winners here shortly. But yeah, happy to give out some UC. We've had some people saying this has been great, so that's super cool. Yeah, man, this is interesting. And Drift King says the analytics have been blowing up. Absolutely right. Like everyone here, except for maybe me. Like I've been focused on like building, everything else up. Yeah, y'all have been absolutely slaying. So mad props, mad kudos, and super excited.
We should do we don't want to clap into the mics. We want to do the what's that thing called?
Snapping?
Is this the money symbol, Metal?
No, not the money symbol.
I'm just joking.
What are they called?
Oh,
you go to camp. You're like, yeah, this is when your camp counselors are like, don't clap for the
I
animals.
never made it to camp. I'm sorry. Like, did you go to camp?
Kind of.
You did?
Like a day camp.
Okay.
I
did you
didn't
go to camp?
No, I didn't go to camp.
I never made it to camp. Like, I went in camp.
Do you remember the camp counselors? Okay, like if you never.
I didn't go to camp.
Okay.
I mean, all I know is the TV shows where the weird stuff happens.
Well, the camp counselors are like, do the like coyote ears or like do like different stuff. And
what is coyote ears? Tell me
okay,
about that.
it's like instead of.
What are you even talking about?
Instead of clapping, because you might disturb the animals or you might disturb someone else.
the animals?
This is just what Yosemite, bro, California.
Yosemite.
Let's go. Anyways, they're like, yeah, fox ears if you want to cheer for someone.
Fox ears.
It's like, good job. Like, so, or I forgot what this was called.
Oh, I'm loving this. This is content, bro.
Like quiet snaps. Like don't like. What did I put myself into?
Yeah,
that is insane. All right, let's get our first winner up on the screen, guys. We have selected an ID. It's going to be going out here in just a moment.
Oh, it's number 515.
It's 5154.
Can we do some Fox ears for 515?
178929. So again, we got a list of all this stuff going on. You just won $20 in UC, courtesy of PUBG Mobile, I guess. Yeah, and the OP squad here. We'll deliver that to you guys in the next 24 hours as the stream concludes. So congratulations. We'll select somebody else here in just a moment and get your ID up on the screen for recognition. But congratulations to whoever that is. Thank you guys so much for participating in the giveaway. We love it. Jeremy says, all I'd love to play is a game with the crew who cares about UC. Playing with PB would be better. That's what I'm talking about, Jeremy. My man. Big shout out to Jeremy Lee, dude. Thanks for tuning in.
Let me find some nice comments about myself.
Hey, dude, I'm just reading what's on the screen. I see a bunch of IDs, and then playing with PB would be awesome. What can I say?
Honestly, I was thinking about the whole comment thing. There's so many times that I could screenshot, like, back to back, like, this guy is the worst player I've ever seen.
Right.
I absolutely hate him. And then the guy below is like, I love you so much for saying
No,
it.
it's worse when the guy says, this guy's the worst player, and you comment saying, okay, and they're like, I'm such a big fan. I was just joking.
Well, see that we live in an age of like internet keyboard warriors, right? Where it's like there's that level of anonymity where they feel like, oh, I can just say whatever I want. There's no repercussion. There's no consequence, and I can do it without this person like knowing.
He'll never see it.
He'll never see it, and it's like I don't condone or recommend that people engage in negative behavior or giving them any sort of attention, but every once in a while, like when it does like feel good to like respond to somebody, it's like you say something and then they about face because they're cowards, and it's just like it's just really weird to see that as a content creator. And like for me, like I guess combating negativity in like situations where somebody's being mean, like kill them with kindness, dude. Like answer back in a way that's like overly kind, where that's like, dude, you can't possibly hate on me, for this. And if you do, you just look silly. So, kill them with kindness, the best thing I could recommend. We got another giveaway winner. We're going to pull them up right now, guys. We got number 5298459140. I'm sure that equates to somebody awesome somewhere in the world, but you just won $20 of UC, and we'll be delivering that here in just a little bit. That's a lot of UC, and it's going to get you probably some new gun crafting stuff that's going to be coming out here shortly. Mm-hmm. Make your own weapon skin, like PB did. You got a cool orange and black shotgun. I can't wait till new gun crafting stuff comes out, like new guns, not just the S12K. Like if I can make a Car 98. Just saying.
Well, they had the S12K, and then the SCAR was also part of that. But then they were like, oh, we're gonna put
there you go.
What if? Okay, note to the devs, if you're watching this, add a on-kill effect or a kill message to the gun crafting.
Full-scale gun lab.
Full-scale gun
Custom
lab.
at every level. That would be
pretty
pretty
sick.
cool. Yeah.
Like, let me, when I shoot somebody, have them blow up into neon fireworks or something. Like, maybe not that extreme, but like, have some sort of like, there's nothing better than like the Godzilla Car 98, the Terrafang.
Yeah.
When you shoot somebody, there's like that red flame that comes up from the battlefield. Or what is it, the Groza, the neon green. So cool.
Yeah.
I would love
really
that.
cool.
I don't know.
I agree.
I'm into the cosmetics and like some of the skins and stuff. So like, if I make a custom gun skin, I want to go all the way, and I'll spin till I'm dead.
That was my first S12K skin, by the way. I wasn't upset that they
Same.
They
I
picked
that
that
was
for
my
gun
first
crafting.
really nice looking.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of the other S12K skins that I had.
It was like a candy cane one, right? That's like the only other one I can remember.
don't
I
know.
had
I don't have
the what's it called?
I have none. I just like the game. I just slay. I
It's
don't
the
need to.
turquoise and
play the
yellow
game.
one that I have.
I just like to play the game.
I have the turquoise and yellow. There's like a brown.
I have the
like desert
turquoise and
camo.
yellow as well, but there's something about being able to customize your own skin. I mean, I put little cute hearts on there, and then just with a shotgun, just like.
Winning Truths Gaming just asked. Most of the people seem to look up to us as creators or leaders or whatever. He asked specifically, like, what type of content capturing do you guys recommend? Like, how do you make videos? Like, how do you do what you do? And more importantly, how would you recommend like starting out for somebody?
Yeah, there's several different levels that you can start. We've seen some creators be very successful, such as her gaming. She does everything on her tablet, and I'm really impressed by that. Her overlay, her recording, her thumbnails. It's definitely possible to do it without a computer. However, if you are looking to get into that next level of content creation, obviously what we do all requires a PC.
It requires a full production studio, lots of cameras.
You have to have all this.
Monitors,
it's really the only way.
Track lighting, the whole works. No, not necessary. You can literally. I started content creation in my car on my lunch break. I was like, you know what?
A lot of people did that, by the way.
Yeah. Well, you have jobs, right? You have responsibilities. You got to go do stuff. But at the same time, it's like, dude, I know that regular content is kind of required in order to like get traction in this industry. And so literally there are external apps, and like there's a lot of them. You can literally go look them up. But I remember, and I don't know if these are out anymore, but I remember Do Recorder was one. I remember AZ Screen Recorder was one.
Yeah, I remember that.
And some of the challenges, like Android typically is better for like screen recording options, like doing like drawing on the screen and that kind of stuff. But iOS has the ability to just record the screen and like make a recording. There's challenges when it comes to audio, like recording your mic and the game sound, and so that's something that you'll run into, and you kind of just have to play with what you think is best. But I think I started with AZ Screen Recorder back in the day, literally from my car, playing Clash of Clans, and I even found an app, I think it was AZ, where you could draw, like I remember doing diagrams of like Archer Queens and which way she was going to walk or whatever, and I would like be circling, like John Madden style on ESPN, I'd be circling on my device, and I would record that, and then I would upload it from mobile to YouTube. So there are ways to like, create stuff. And then I know that there's, streaming platforms now I think most of them you can stream directly from your mobile device to the streaming platform if you wanted to create content that way as well. So there's a lot of options.
I mean, like, my biggest thing would just be make content. Just have fun with it. Don't feel like you have to be stressed out, and you like. I think the biggest thing is you should have fun, but also like there's videos on my channel where I literally just take another camera and just film my phone screen. But now like the phones are very capable of recording themselves and not all that's like. The phones are really powerful now, but I would just take a camera and film my screen and be like, hey guys, like I'm filming. It's just like you can really do a lot on the phones nowadays, and I just think you should be able to, as long as you're having fun. I think that's the biggest thing.
Be yourself.
Yeah, be yourself.
Sure.
Have fun.
Authenticity, that is the move. So like, I recommend just being yourself always. Like I've had aspirations of like being like a character, right? And like I am to an extent, but I never like have the character like supplant my true values and morals or whatever. Like I'm not, like I am who I am, and I'm not much different off camera than I am on. You know, I still am like, you know, goofy and serious and like whatever. Like, you know, I just recommend authenticity. But like even beyond that, like if you were trying to like take off, authenticity is now like a very strong brand to embrace. Like 2020 and like being truthful and like, you know, speaking, you know, about who you are as a person and just being authentic. Everybody loves it. It seems to do well. So for content, that's definitely a strong move. I saw something coming up several times by several people. It's a question for Rolex specifically. I mean, have any idea what the question might be?
No, I mean I wouldn't know. I mean,
Are you ever going to come back to competitive play?
Oh, I forgot about that. I don't know. I don't know if I will. Right now, I'm just taking a break, but I think competitive play, it's just way too stressful. You just have to put in too much time. And with me trying to be a YouTuber and then, you know, also doing competitive, it's just way too much to try to balance out, so to speak. So for now, I think it's time for me to just, you know, have a break. But we'll see. I mean, I'm not like 100% retired, but I think right now I just want to
just kind of see how it goes. Playing it by ear. Right. All right, tentative. Yeah, there you go. You guys got the answers right there. We got a lot of people asking, like Shane Mass says, I think his ex Gayton says that, you know, this should be a regular podcast or regular thing. Shane said, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Should be kind of a regular occurrence. Is that something that you guys would like to see? I mean, asking for a friend here. But we do have, you know, like a full production studio and, you know, 4 content creators that I think we could probably get in the same place at the same time. I don't know. You guys let us know if you're digging the content and if you're digging like just an open, candid discussion about the game, about content, about honestly wherever we want to take this. We could come up with more topical stuff in the future. So let us know what you think in the comments. But beyond that, we'll keep looking, you know, down there. Yes, would be nice. Yes. More podcasts. Shout out PB. That's what I'm talking about. I just dabbed for you, baby.
Oh God.
Thank you.
Wow. Glad I'm on this couch and not
over
there.
Sometimes I get carried away, man. I'm a boomer. What can I say, dude? I'm still dabbing. It's
boomer.
2017.
You said it, not me.
Let's
I didn't
go.
say
You're a
nothing.
boomer.
That's what. Whatever.
Well, I'm the one who's doing fox hands.
Yeah,
so you know.
For sure.
You're a zoomer.
So a lot of people ask for a mansion tour. We're actually getting close to that point. Like a lot of moving been going on, a few setbacks here and there, such as like, I don't know, COVID and the fact that no one's working. Like you can't get contractors to come to your place anymore. Like all this stuff was supposed to be done ages ago, but you know, we're all doing the best that we can. We now have a fully functioning studio now, which is obviously evident today, which is super cool. We'll get to more tours on that in the future and full featured videos that shows you guys kind of behind the scenes and let you know what's going on. Same thing with the OP Mansion. We're still getting that outfitted. We got our homies in there making content now, grinding the streams,
Every
doing
day.
big things.
Every day.
Yo,
Every
if
day.
y'all would subscribe to my buddies here, Wynnsanity, Rolex, Medalcore, myself, they are all cruising along in the content. And we got a couple of them very close to some key milestones, namely Wynnsanity, who should be hitting 100,000 subscribers in the next couple of days. I don't know how close you are, dude.
It might have to be tonight. I'm not gonna lie.
Are you cruising that quickly?
I think I'm gonna go live later tonight and just not.
Don't miss your opportunity to be
Just
part of the
not
winner's
stop
circle, guys.
till we
It's
hit it.
happening. It's happening here right now. So make sure you guys drop a sub for those guys. Super cool. More custom rooms. We'll definitely do some of that here in the future. Like a big part of like what I've been doing and why like I miss uploads here and there is like literally building this all, again, no contractors. I can't like throw money at people to do things really. So it's doing a lot of it myself, which I was hoping not to have to do. But hey, we're doing the best that we can. Now that everything's kind of like starting to get tied together, I can just step on the set. We can do cool like podcasts, custom rooms, more content. So very excited to be bringing that in the near future as well. Yeah, man. I think we do a couple more giveaways before we get out of here today. Not yet. Don't spam just yet. I just want you guys to know that there are more coming. And I'm excited to make those happen for you. So, Wynn, what's next, dog? What do you want to talk about?
You said the giveaway word, and they were like,
Yeah, I know he said the G word.
Look at that. Rhapsody's like, yo, ID, here it is. 522102039er. I don't know what
He was
I don't know
like,
if that's right.
All right, here. So, kind of one question that I have, and I can ask myself to start it off. Who do you look up to, right? Like, you know, if you're all successful influencers, well, who do the successful influencers look up to? What are your kind of goals as a creator? Like, why are you doing this? Are you going to be uploading when you're 90 years old, playing, you know, PUBG Mobile 5 whenever that's out?
I ask that a lot to myself. All right.
I guess I'll start with my own question. A couple of creators that I personally enjoy. I feel like we might have the same answers. I like Dr. Disrespect for his production quality.
Yeah.
He's the kind of guy that has been able to take a character and really run with it. I also like Courage, Ninja, a couple large PC streamers, but, you know, Shroud especially too. A lot of their success on the business side, you know, with the deals they've gotten with streaming platforms, kind of being visionaries. I don't watch too much of their content, but I study closely what they do, and like they're kind of my role models. And then for me personally, like he keeps saying it, my goal has always been to get 100,000 subs, and I've never imagined what would come after that. So when I hit 100,000, I'm like, what do we do now, right? But I think just to continue to keep growing, you know, reaching more people, and whether we wanted to or not, I feel like we've kind of become like spokespeople for the mobile industry, right? It's this thing that when people think mobile gaming, they're like, oh, you mean like Candy Crush? Like, I think my mom plays that, right? But it's like, no, there's so much more under the surface, and we're kind of the ambassadors for bringing that into the like the worldview, or at least into North America, where it's just not as popular as Asia.
Sure.
So that's kind of my goal.
That makes sense. For me, I'm looking bigger picture. Like the YouTube has been amazing. I love making content. It's a passion of mine for sure. But I'm looking like industry-wide, like all of mobile gaming, all of content creation. I've been able to, you know, foster relationships and contacts in all of the major platforms out there, from, you know, YouTube to Facebook to, you know, now Trovo that's coming on strong here. Should be launched soon. Yeah, man, I've been really, really fortunate so far to meet a lot of really cool people, a lot of really cool companies, brands, etc. And so a big part of my mission, and the reason that I've got like a full-blown talent agency now that works with thousands of creators and hundreds of brands and, you know, many different game publishers and developers, I want to provide opportunities for people like these guys to do what they do and have the, I guess, the stability to do it in a full-time, full-focus fashion, in a way that provides value to their stakeholders, the people that are, you know, like the PUBGs of the world, the people that we're doing work for and shining a light on their game. That's what I'm personally really, really interested in and hope to continue to do. And part of that is being a content creator and like continuing to be an ambassador for the many different companies that I work with and the games that I really truly am passionate about, like PUBG Mobile. So that's kind of where I see myself and what I'm hoping to continue to build. And again, I think it starts with opportunities and shaping the ecosystem as a whole. So
what creators do you look up to?
Oh, what creators? Specifically, honestly, I don't watch a lot of gaming creators outside of like my circle. So like what I do is I do a lot of talent scouting, right? Like many of you out there, it's hilarious to me because I get tweeted at like, oh, Powerbang doesn't come watch. Powerbang does come watch. Like, I promise you, like, I am in the shadows. I lurk all the time. I watch what people are doing. I'm like, this guy's making great content. Like, this dude's doing really cool, like, creative things. This girl's got amazing production value, or like, whatever. This fella's really good at the game. Like, I keep tabs on all of that and, like, kind of keep that mentally logged. And so when there may be an opportunity to do something with like PUBG Mobile, where it's like we're inviting 50 people to come to an event somewhere in the world, I already know who I'm like looking at because I've watched their consistency, I've watched their quality, I've watched their talent over the course of time. So I watch our own ecosystem from that perspective, but more broadly, I watch other genres on YouTube. Like I watch the Casey Neistats of the world. I watch the Peter McKinnons. I watch Logan Paul. I watch David Dobrik. Like, I watch the trendsetters and the leading individuals out there on all of the different platforms to see not necessarily what they're doing from a content perspective, but to see what they're doing from a business perspective. And so taking in all of that information, gleaning like what I can from it, learning from it, and seeing like what's successful and trying to like take pieces of that and maybe inject it into the, like my content or the people that I work with and their content, like maybe providing ideas. That's kind of like how I roll as far as like content consumption. So I watch absolutely everything, and I have multiple monitors, and I'm like consuming constantly because I really feel like as a creator and as an artist in general, if you're not like consuming other ideas and other things, it's really tough to be like completely 100% original all the time. So I really encourage you guys to take inspiration from other people and don't feel like you're copying. Like if somebody's doing something well, do it. Like who cares? Like literally imitation is the best form of flattery. And you know, as far as like what I'm doing, I see, you know, sprinkles of whether it's thumbnail style, whether it's video style, whether it's, you know, crate openings or like whatever. I see people doing what I'm doing. Never once am I like upset about like, oh, he's stealing my ideas.
It does.
Or, like,
it does work.
So yeah, it's kind of food for thought. Anyway, Rolly, what about you? Inspirations?
Probably you, dude. I think you are the person who I look up to. You've always been there, and you were just
Stop it, dude.
just a mentor, man. Like I don't know, I mean, obviously helped us three, and it's always been just. I have no words to express how grateful I am to have you as a buddy of mine.
Bring it in.
Oh, so yeah, probably
Thanks,
you. Goals wise, 2 weeks ago I hit 200K subscribers on YouTube, so that's pretty crazy.
Big milestone, dude. That's huge.
So I think now probably 500,000. I think that's something that I'm looking forward to.
That's the next big milestone.
Next big milestone.
Let's get it there, boys.
Yeah.
Rolex on YouTube. Double L, triple X. Go sub. All right. Sick. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
No, you.
Thank you.
You.
All right. Nada, what's up?
That was such a wholesome moment.
It was, wasn't it?
For me, I guess like I'm just happy to be able to do something that I really, really enjoy, which is like involving camera equipment or entertaining. But another thing is like the people that I were looking up to was like I really looked up to Rooster Teeth, which is like a production company in Texas. They started making like machinimas for a game called Halo. And it started from that to being a full-blown, like, multiple companies, animation.
Mm-hmm.
They've got their Let's Plays. They started that Let's Play genre. And I like being able to have multiple things to do, whether it's, like, skits or gameplay or podcasts and all that stuff. So I'm happy that, like, my dream was to work at Rooster Teeth. But now I'm almost doing something that Rooster Teeth did at the very beginning, which was, like, being part of all this big start of something. And no matter how big I get, like right now, we're all about to hit goals. I'm about to hit 250,000, so 250,000. I'm about like 10,000 away. My goal, yeah, fox ears.
Fox ears, let's go. Oh my God! Everybody at home, fox ears, get them up. Have your parents.
You could
have
do
your
it in
friends.
the. You could do it in the chat. Do the fox ears in the chat.
do the-
I don't. Yeah, whatever.
But one thing that I'll stop on or like end on is I want that like my community, no matter how big it gets, my streams or my Discords or my YouTube, is to be like a safe place, especially in the world that it is now. I want people to have a safe place where they can come, they can hang out, enjoy what they're watching, which I think a lot of us give that to people. Like maybe they had a bad day and they could just chill and watch a Powerbang video or chill and watch Powerbang streams. We're all giving off positive vibes. We're all having a good time, and that's definitely one thing that I want. No matter how big I get or what happens, I want my videos and streams to be that safe place for people where they can just, unwind and relax. One thing that I used to do was I would sit down and eat food and watch streamers.
Same.
I don't really do that anymore. I just eat food and freaking edit a video or something. So now, like,
Wait. I'm seeing a chicken meme right now. I'm seeing like food on your hands, touching your keyboard. But
no one else touches my keyboard.
I
So
was
it's
gonna say
okay.
you're metalcore though. You're probably cleaning it before.
I'm very clean. I'm very clean. Yeah.
Fingertips.
But yeah, like I want like what I experienced in that Rooster Teeth community. I want people to experience that as well, where they can just sit back and enjoy themselves and not have to worry about whatever they're worrying about. And I think that's my biggest thing. No matter what your like gender, race, ethnicity, religion, just you can hang out. And
Come hang out, man.
Yeah,
Have a good
I think a
time.
lot of us
Yeah.
give that vibe off, and I want that. And that's
All
another
right.
reason why. Yeah. Anyway.
No, I'm not cutting you off. We're gonna take it back to a lighter topic and do another giveaway right now. This time, boom, 2 more $20 UC packages going out to a couple of you. So put your IDs in the chat. And meanwhile, while we wait for those to come in, we're gonna take it to a game topic really quickly.
We forgot the Royal Pass thing. You only told me
Oh,
my Royal
yeah.
Pass, my favorite Royal Pass. I want to hear your guys' favorite Royal Pass.
We'll come back.
Okay, we'll come back.
We'll come back to that. So, Royal Pass. Whatever Metal said. What's your favorite? Like, what style? Like, realistic?
You remember when I was like
Flash?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
exactly.
I prepped this answer because it's controversial. So season 13, the Rangers, I loved it, man.
So
Everybody.
Power Rangers.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Colorful. I mean, I spent a year and a half of my life running around in a massive chicken costume. People could see me from
Yes.
like 800 meters away, even in fog mode. Like, I love the big, bulky, over-the-top, colorful, neon animated. I'm all about that. And my
So you're saying
Yeah.
first anniversary with TVs and animated
Season
screens on
6.
it.
I was like, finally, they did
my
it.
favorite.
Your favorite was season
My-
6?
My favorite Royal
Yeah,
Pass
season
was
6 was the best, and I hated
futuristic
season,
type, right?
I hated
Yeah,
season
that
7,
one.
where it was like the camo ranger, or like the commando one. And I was like, man, that's boring. that
So
was,
you know what? There was a lot of argument, I think, on that. But before we get into the argument, let's check our winner for $20 of UC. That's unknown cash, and that's 5729-42660. And that's going to be coming to you in the next 24 hours. So, sir or ma'am or miss or whatever the heck, sit tight, and we'll have that to you shortly. Congratulations on your big win. It's your big day. But secondly, I don't know what season was my overall favorite. There's been a lot of Royale Passes that I've really, really liked. The first anniversary one was a really good one.
That was a good one, for sure.
Like anything with animation on it, things that move, it gets me every time.
Yeah,
The designer in me, I'm like, I gotta have it. I have to have it. So yeah.
I agree that the animation ones are cool, but you remember when they had the Sanhok themed Royal Pass when they first released Sanhok? It was season 3, the golden M16, the golden, all that gold. I love that as well. Like, it was just so styling. You're like,
underwater theme for me is definitely top 3. I love
the
that
serpent
one.
one.
Oh,
like
yeah, that
season
was
8, I
pretty
think.
cool.
With like the octopus backpack and
Yeah.
the different, I love
That was
one.
for me. That particular one was one of the weakest ones in my eyes. I didn't like the
Okay.
water.
we have opinions.
I've never been like a under the sea, like Little Mermaid, like this guy, Little Mermaid.
Wynnsanity.
I think
It's a single hopper.
season 9, I saw somebody in chat said season 9 was their absolute favorite. I think that was the one that
Which one was season 9? Remind me.
It was the.
That was the samurai
one. Never mind.
I love
I
the
love
samurai.
that
Yeah,
one. I was
I think-
thinking season 10, the Wasteland one. I didn't
Oh,
even make
yeah.
a video on that Royal Pass.
I didn't
was
like the Wasteland one, yeah.
I'm like,
Really?
There's the
The
one season.
views, bro.
I didn't do an RP video.
Another winner
Views.
coming right up, guys. Let's get it on screen. We have a $20 UC package going out to 5915-74650. Congratulations! You are now $20 richer inside of PUBG Mobile.
In unknown.
Everyone's
cash.
checking their PUBG account. Does that match my number? Like,
Exactly. So if you posted it, you know that we will get that to you guys in the next 24 hours, or your money back.
Shout out to PUBG for the giveaway system, by the way. We've all been able to take advantage of that to give back to you guys. No
Yeah.
other game really gives us the ability to with a number to just give money into your account. And
yeah,
like,
it's just there.
It's just one of the many features PUBG has that we're just like,
Right, exactly. I was just gonna say, like, a lot of us, like, we want to do as much as we can for our audience, and like give back where we can, because we're very fortunate to be in the position that we are in. And a lot of times it's very difficult to actually, have the mechanism to go do that, because the biggest thing for us is like our time. It's like, how long does it take to do something? Like, if somebody comments on YouTube, I won or whatever, like, how do you contact somebody on YouTube? Like,
email,
think about it.
they don't respond. What's your ID?
Yep.
Wait 2 days. Oh, there's your ID.
Post on Twitter, and then it's like, killer12341, and then like all of a sudden the next day on Twitter there's like 75 killer1234s, all of them with accounts that were created yesterday, and it's like, I won, and it's a nightmare. So big props to PUBG for allowing us to actually inject giveaways and stuff into people's accounts. It's so huge. So a couple more giveaways in the books. We've given away, it looks like, almost $100 in prizes so far today, and we will do one big one at the end. We're gonna wrap up in probably 20 minutes or so, but we'll I don't know, maybe like a $50 UC package to some lucky individual, and
That's a lot
maybe
of
another
UC.
Royale Pass as well. So thank you guys for tuning in and hanging out. Medalcore, what's on your mind, man? What's burning that you think the audience should know about?
I don't know. I wanted to talk about how me and Wynn were doing some mobile content with mobile games. There's a video on the PUBG channel where we went to a beach with our phones. We had a camera. We got a mic set up, and like, it was just so fun because you can play mobile games anywhere, and you can also really make content anywhere. Like you were saying, PB, like,
Yeah.
you made it in a car. You're making your content in a car. So like with mobile games, there's so much stuff you can do. As long as you got like that Wi-Fi connection or that, you know, LG or whatever you got, and then you got that screen recorder or whatever, because the phones they're capable of doing that now. You do it everywhere. The only difference was me and Wynn had that like extra camera set up.
Got it.
So I don't know.
Yeah, it was so difficult. We had like
Ooh,
two different cameras, and
we forgot to do this at the very beginning. Nick Frame.
Oh, that's right.
Nick Frame just hit us with the most obvious low-hanging fruit question of the whole day. What is the story behind each of your in-game names?
We wrote that on the board.
We
It's
literally have a whiteboard over there with ideas and topics and all this kind of stuff. It's like the top thing, story behind our names, and we forgot to even talk about it. Maybe it was the nerves, maybe it was the, I don't know, Mountain Dew or whatever. But basically, what is the story behind your name, Wynn?
Easy.
And I feel like this is an easy one for me.
I get so many questions in my chat. They say, "Hey, Wynn, what's your real name?" I'm like, "My real name is actually Wynn." What?
Is it?
It is? Well, it's Wyndham. He calls me Wyndham all the time, and it's the weirdest thing ever.
It's so weird to call him by his name.
Anyway, so I'm in high school, right? I'm a junior, and right around the same time, I remember I lived in New York. So Jeremy Lin was a very prominent basketball player who just kind of had
the New York Knicks.
Yeah, he had his big breakout start with the Knicks. Wynnsanity was everywhere. You know, clearly I took my 200 IQ with Wynn, and I was like, Wynnsanity. And right around the same time, I was going to the state championships for my track team in high school.
Coach would have put me in. I'd have won state. I'd have gone pro.
And we
soaking up in the hot tub with my soulmate. Sorry, I'm monologuing. Go. Sorry.
And we were like, our team, we're making all these T-shirts and stuff. And on the back, for my name, like on my the back of my jersey, I put Wynnsanity, and it just kind of stuck. And then it kind of fell off a little bit. And then, you know, fast forward to college, I'm creating my channel name, and I'm like, what do I call it? Like, what's a cool? And it just
Easy peasy.
Wynnsanity, yeah.
That's an awesome name, honestly. Like, to have it tied into your real, like, it's just easy, you know? Shorten it to Wynn, it's like, oh, I know how to
that's what people
respond to
call me anyways.
Yeah,
Wynn.
Wynn,
So-
they call you Wynn.
Yeah, no one goes, "Hey, Wynnsanity, there's a guy over there."
Yeah.
Like,
right.
They go Wynn.
I do on purpose sometimes. Like, I'll call you your long form name.
It's like when your mom calls you by your like full first name. He's like Wynnsanity, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, am I in trouble?
Exactly. For me, Powerbang, a lot of people have their thoughts about how that came about or what it means, and I assure you that you're wrong. 2009, 10 time frame, somewhere in there, I got started with, what game was it? Star Wars, the Old Republic.
SWTOR.
Yeah. So Star Wars, the Old Republic, I was super excited for like an MMO. I'd been playing World of Warcraft for years and years and years, and I was like, cool, I want to like throw my life away once again, you know? So, I was like, let's go, Star Wars. And I was known by like, all like while I was growing up, I had these super juvenile, like really basic, like obviously like kid names, right? My first online name, don't quote this, was Tough Guy, Tuffguy, Tough Guy. So that was my first name. I was like, okay, we got to graduate from that ASAP. I transitioned into Destroyer in all caps. So Destroyer, all caps, was my name, and I actually was a pro Counter-Strike player under that name. So it was like, that's how I was known, and that was like my identity. That was like my Powerbang of the day. And so enough time passed to where Destroyer, like nobody knew who I was anymore. I wasn't a big deal. So it was like, okay, cool. Now is my opportunity to kind of like rename myself, and what am I going to be? I have no idea. All I knew is I wanted to play this video game, SWTOR. So I log in, I'm like, I'm going to play. First question, what is your name going to be? And I'm like, oh crap. I have no idea. Had headphones on. I remember I was listening to Nirvana, famous 90s grunge band from Seattle, if those of you guys aren't aware. And I was just like, you know, I was vibing. I was headbanging a little bit. And I was like, you know what? I'm power banging, baby. Power banging. Let's go. And so that's kind of how it you know, originated. I typed in power bang, and the rest is history. Of course, I ascended to the top of that game, and then like the next mobile game that I played, and like all of a sudden there were like game developers calling me out by name on like public forums, and I was like, I guess I should keep it. And so by the time I got to YouTube, it was like people already knew who I was in games, so I just kept it. And then YouTube kind of blew up, and you know, speaking of milestones, I hit 1.5 million subs recently.
Fox ears, let's go!
I legit didn't even notice. Like, after I crossed it, it was like, you know, 40,000 subscribers later. I was like, oh, I should have.
So busy.
I should have said thanks. So thanks, guys. I appreciate that. I kind of love the milestones. Like for me, it's weird. Like as you grow, I feel like you lose track of like the smaller milestones where it's like every 10,000 or 50,000 or 100,000 subs. Like for me, it was like you were saying, once I get past 100K, like what do I look at? 200K, 250K.
Right.
Rolex just crossed 200. It's like, what's my next? 500K, right? So like the gaps get bigger and bigger. And for me, mentally, when I crossed 1 million, the next is 2 million. Like that was the natural like progression.
Natural.
So like until I hit 2 million, if I'm lucky enough to do so, I just like stop paying attention to like the little milestones. But I guess every 100,000 like that's your entire channel. You know what I mean? Like not to like it's a big deal. And I lose sight of that. Didn't mean to
I am 15 times.
I didn't mean to say in a bad way. I apologize to everybody out there. But you know what I mean though? Like you lose sight of like
Good dog.
thank you. Like it's a huge deal to be able to continue to have like growth and success like that. So I guess like retrospectively, like looking back just yesterday when I was like wow, like holy crap, like it's still growing, it's still crazy. Thank you guys. So something to kind of keep in mind.
No, I felt that too. Like, I used to look at big creators and be like, man, that person's like 100 times bigger than me. And then I just saw like a newer creator celebrate hitting 1,000 subs, and I'm like, I'm 100 times bigger than them, right? So you start to like get these perspectives, but not that I'm trying to compare anything, but I'm kind of am starting to feel the same thing. I think.
Look at it compared to your old channel, like where you're at now compared to where you were. Like a lot of people don't know, he used to have he grinded Clash Royale for what
years,
2-3 years,
yeah.
like. And it just didn't take off, and it took like a change of pace. PUBG Mobile, thank you. All of a sudden, he's on like this upward ascension. Like
I had
the
a realization.
Like, dude, tell him about your stream the other night and like the
so
growth.
I had so I started YouTube, like I said, in my dorm room in 2016. In the first 12 months of that effort, I got 900 subs in 12 months. The other night, I got 900 subs.
Of daily creation?
Nearly? Borderline daily, yeah. Like, at least every other day.
Call it 300 videos.
Yeah, to get to 900 subs, right? So, like, trust me, if you're grinding right now, I've been there, we've been there.
Yeah.
But the other night, kind of things popped off. Maybe my stream got recommended. I checked the stats. I had 900 subs in one night. And I'm just like, it took me a year to do that. Now I do it in one night. And I kind of felt like prestiging in like COD. like,
Let's start over, and then now it's like,
it's like the new game plus, like let's carry over and just do it faster the next time.
Wynn's rocking a bigger badge now. Yeah, man, I kind of lost train of thought.
Names.
We're doing names.
Why are you Rolex?
Just because of Rolex. So it's not like Powerbang story.
Do you like watches or like?
I do like watches.
Okay.
I don't have one on, but they're at my house.
We're working there, man. When you get to $500,000,
do you have a Rolex?
We'll have to get a Rolex.
I actually have 2 Rolex watches, and whenever I was trying to pick a name for PUBG Mobile, I looked around. And I was
You're like looking at items basically.
I was just thinking first, and then I looked to my counter and I saw my 2 Rolex watches there, and then I'm like, oh, how about Rolex? So I typed in Rolex, it was taken. So then I put 2 L's, it was taken. So then I put 2 X's and 2 L's, taken, and then 3 X's with 2 L's, and that's how I got my YouTube channel. It was basically just trying to pick a name because I was just trying to play.
I hear you, man. That's like my in-game name now. Like, because if you switch around in-game, like every iteration,
it's already taken.
Powerbang or Rolex is taken, and so it's just like now I've got like zeros in my name and like all kinds of stuff just to try to get something that's remotely familiar. What about you, Medalcore?
I love how you call it Medalcore. Like,
hey, man, it's your full name. We're talking about names. I want to address you by your name.
So I like how all of our stories are all very like different. Like Wynn's name is his name, and then like a little bit Powerbang got it from this, and then Rolex was just like, I got Rolex. But for me, I kept on having name Jedi in it. I was a big Star Wars fan. It was the same with PB, where it was like a childish name, and I wanted something different. I was on the phone with my uncle, and I was telling him I wanted to change my name for like I think Xbox Live, and it was almost like Rolex's thing, except for at the time my brother was like a semi-pro scooter rider, like the Razor scooters. Like he was doing stuff like that. He was doing backflips on those. So yeah, he was doing backflips. He went to this like Woodward thing. He was doing contests, all this stuff. And for some reason, we tied it into the wheels. The wheels of scooters, the really expensive wheels, they're called Medalcores. And
wow.
So I think what happened was me being younger, I typed in, I think it was Medalcore, but me being younger, I'm just like, oh, you spell it Medalcore.
This makes so much more sense now.
And so now my name is Medalcore. I mean, people think that I got it from like a medal or something, and then like I think people were like, well, Wynn has winner circle. Why don't you have anything cool? So someone said, oh, we can have like the like medallions or something, or when they like go on the podium, like like 1 through 3 or something like that. But yeah, Medalcore from Scooter Wheels basically.
Hey man, you could have a nation of bangers. Just saying. Banger Nation. Get it?
Oh,
High
yeah.
rollers.
Yeah.
High rollers.
High rollers.
Yeah, high rollers. You gotta name your following.
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
You gotta have something. You gotta have a group. So,
Yeah.
yeah, Banger Nation. I forgot I was wearing this. Yeah. Anyway, it's on my shirt right now. Banger Nation. Speaking of which, who knows? I have some shirts soon. Yeah. Okay. Who has the most drip of the four of you?
Me.
In game or what?
No.
Like,
In game.
In game, that's a tough one. I wonder who that would be. In game, clearly it's me.
It's
IRL.
No way.
I don't
no
know,
way
man.
you're even close.
I've
Rolly?
got some
No.
skin. I got at least one skin that PB doesn't have that I will
No.
always flex on
Really?
him. Yeah, it's a mutant.
If I
It's an
busted
MK
out my
mutant.
college little trophy cabinet, I've got
Oh
it.
gosh, this guy in his Ivy League school. We're not talking polo shirts here, man.
No, actually, a little flex here. So speaking of your watches, I used to run at this very large track meet called the Penn Relays. It's the largest track meet in the Western Hemisphere, and the first place prize is not a medal; it's a golden watch.
oh, that's cool.
Damn.
And I've got
That's
three
pretty
of
cool.
them, so
You have three golden watches?
watches.
it was my.
All right, low key, you gotta be on stream in a few days. I don't know if you have them here, but like literally watch. Just get it dangling so you're like playing crooked because they're so heavy. You know what I'm saying? I think that'd be super funny. Guys, we're gonna open it up for a couple more questions from you all. So make sure you get us your most impactful, hardest hitting questions before we hit our final giveaway of the evening. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Thank you for the support and the positive feedback. We do appreciate that. Feel free to tweet at PUBG Mobile and let them know what you thought of the show and if you'd like to see us back in the future, because you know, we would like to go back to the future and maybe show up on the show and in the future and talk more PUBG. Rolly, drip between, I think, I don't know, bro.
I mean, we got Yeezys on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that right?
we
So,
do
I mean,
got
we're
some
kinda-
Yeezys on.
You know?
If
know
I'm
what's
voting, I gotta say Rolex.
No,
Like,
yeah,
I always
no,
see this guy's flossing. Like,
It has to be Rolex because at Star Challenge he had Yeezys on, and I'm like, nerds wear Yeezys, and so I got Yeezys as well because of Rolex.
All right,
so.
we got a good question in from the chat. All right, everybody get up, center of the room.
Oh.
It was how tall are you guys?
Oh, okay.
So
Oh, we
let's-
have legs. They're gonna
We have
be
legs,
have
real-
legs.
real
You guys
life.
don't see this.
So
Oh, I don't have
This might
shoes
be a
on.
weird
I've got a
perspective.
disadvantage here, man.
This is a
here's
weird
the height
perspective.
breakdown.
Hang on.
Look at that on camera, so you guys can see exactly like. Oh my God, I am a giant. Yeah, most people know that I'm big, but like they don't realize how until they meet me in person, and they're like, "Oh my."
He's pretty big.
He's tall.
Yeah, he's tall.
So yeah, I'm just a large human being. So there's the height breakdown for all of us. There you go. I guess we can go sit down
Okay.
now. But I just figured rather than say like how tall we are, we could just show you.
I'm 6'1".
But me,
Now
I
who
am.
can win in a
I'm
fist
6
fight? Like-
6 feet 4 inches.
On a good day, I'm
What-
6'2".
6'2"?
No,
On a
I'm
good
6'1".
day?
I'm 6'1".
6'1".
Yeah.
What are
Probably 6 foot or
What? No, you're like
5'11"?
5'10".
What?
now we're gonna fight about it.
He's being generous.
5'11" maybe?
Maybe.
Sheesh. All right. Here. How did you guys meet in game in real life? We kind of talked about that already.
Yeah.
We've all met in real life too. But
Yeah.
it was all facilitated from PUBG Mobile. Actually, that's not entirely true. I was aware of Win from Clash Royale prior to PUBG. You may not know that, but I do know that. So, all right. RM has a great question. Do sponsors reach out to you, or do you approach them?
Probably both.
Talk about that, guys. What's your experience with sponsors, and like what does that look like?
I just want to go first because you kind of alluded to it earlier, but for some people that aren't fully aware of kind of what we do behind the scenes, you know, the agency that he was talking about, Aftershock Media Group, that's where a lot of us kind of source our deals. So if you've ever watched a video where we started off and said, hey, real quick, this video is sponsored by this game, or, you know, today's video is supported by this, there's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes. And yes, to your point, sometimes we reach out, other times they reach out to us. All of us have business emails attached to our channel. So if they see that Rolex has 200,000 subs and we've got a new game and we'd love for you to, you know, like promote our game on your channel, that's kind of how that conversation gets started. But then Aftershock that PB runs also helps kind of do some outreach, facilitate. Hey, we have all these YouTubers that would love to work with you, or like you
And we
could work
always
with
come
them.
back
Yeah.
to our favorite game, PUBG Mobile.
Also,
Always.
really quickly,
Same.
we might be having
True.
some like mic issues when we stood up and then sat back down. So that's why the camera's probably on us, because we've got someone behind the scenes trying to figure out the mic stuff.
Mike is suffering. It's probably your mic. Remember that your
Am I good? My mic was always being a little fidgety.
Mic 4? Yeah. Mic 4? Yeah. That's
Oh.
me.
I'm mic 1.
That's my butt.
Mic check. 1, 2, 3.
Mic check,
How
mic
are we?
check.
We good?
Okay.
All right, we back. All right, we'll just put the mic here and I won't get up again. Powerbang is
I just
big
wanted to
on
make the audience
satellite.
aware why they were talking and me and Rolex were just
Yeah,
sitting there
it's-
awkwardly. And
looking at us.
Win was like, yeah, man, yeah, man, yeah, man.
Yeah, yeet, yeet, yeet. Yeah, well, I just yeeted my microphone receiver. It's gone.
He sat on it.
Anyway, was crushing the mic. Dude, yeah, it was right under my keister.
Yeah.
What can I say? I had it sitting on the back, and now it's in my pocket, and I sat on it. And
Hey, it's whoever.
broken.
Someone told us to stand up and change our height. So, or
Yeah, man. All right, so let's talk. We got one more question. Who's it gonna be? We got Fox Ears in the chat. Thank you for that.
Fox Ears, let's go.
Nightbot says, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for updates on PUBG Mobile announcements and live streams. That's awesome. Oh. I'm going to finish with the question, actually. This is something I've been meaning to ask you guys. It's an opportunity for us, like, in front of everybody, to talk to the developers and PUBG Mobile specific team. Like, if you could make one change or addition to PUBG Mobile, not like, I don't want to talk about, like, what could be improved or, like, whatever. Features, like what would you add to the game? Like what would you do to PUBG Mobile to like inject a little bit of variety or do more of something? Like Metal, what would you say? Or Rolex, go ahead.
I want to go first. I'd probably have the mode 50 versus 50 mode. I've been asking. I've been asking for that.
That would be so
I've been asking
sick.
for that for a while.
So like a war mode almost.
like a war mode, and basically it's
Wasn't that on the roadmap at some point? Like wasn't there talk about that? Like maybe on the
I don't
PC
know.
version or something?
I don't know.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was.
yeah,
It's in the
PC version. PC version.
So
yeah.
50
has
versus
something.
50.
50 versus 50, two teams. I think it works where it's
Respawns
like
or no?
no respawns. No
Okay.
respawns.
Interesting.
I really want that game mode though.
How does the plane drops work? Do you have two separate planes?
No, I think it's just one.
Yo,
plane.
how
It's one
lit
plane.
would that be? Two separate planes to drop these people out. Use Erangel as an example. One comes in flying horizontally up by Stalber and Zarki. Another's like on Military Island. 50v50.
And then they
you
meet up.
Run to the center.
And then they
try
meet
to, like,
up.
last
That would be
person standing
so
wins.
sick.
Yo,
The clips,
PUBG,
though.
make this happen. This would be the most lit game mode in the history of game modes.
50
No,
versus
like
50.
I don't think like PUBG would even like. You could literally there could be so much social media cool stuff that
The
could
clips.
like yeah, the clips from Twitter. It's like this is a mobile game of like people just going crazy. It's,
So like in games, I love strategy. I love like very technical like coordination and like let's have a massive flank like sweep in from this side. Like could you imagine if you had like literally the cavalry, right? Like you're sitting
Yeah,
there like
same.
approaching
Like a
Gatka.
squad of
You've got-
four.
No, you've got like 30 people approaching
30
Gatka,
people.
making a big thing, and then all of a sudden 20 UAZs from the flank come flying in across the field.
Yes.
Like that would be gnarly.
They just gotta
I would
have
love
that.
to see something like
They
that.
gotta
So
have
that's
that.
a
That'd be
great
really sick,
suggestion.
yeah.
Metal, do you have anything that you'd like to see?
I had it at the top of my head. Oh, so like anything that like allows for it to be, I guess, differentiated from the PC version, but they're doing that with a brand.
I love this.
I love that because they're doing that with a brand new map that's not on the PC version, and so that's in beta right now. And I love seeing stuff like that where it's like, oh, the PC version doesn't have these TDM maps. That's really, really cool. And so the continuation of that, I'm okay with that.
It's almost like the books kind of separating from the movie separating from the books, right? Like you get to the point where it's like, okay, we've caught up, everything's the same. Now we're innovating. Now we're coming up with like very mobile specific content, and we're gonna see that in a new map that's coming soon. It's out on beta, as Metal mentioned, and there's a video on my channel that kind of highlights that. Go watch it. But basically, this map is insane. It's a very small map.
2x2
Yeah, it's like 2x2, which is like a quarter of the size of like a normal map.
of Sandhawk. It's a quarter of the size of Sandhawk, which is already a quarter of the size. Of
It's gonna be awesome. Like
Yeah.
super, super cool. Lots of diversity. Cities, towns, snow, desert.
It's very
Like,
nice.
It's
very
gonna
nice.
be crazy. Super excited for that to come out.
Yeah, so there's a lot that I could say. I totally agree with the large scale, like larger teams. I would love to see like a domination, but with the point being like the school. Like, let's go take the school, right?
Ooh.
With like
That'd be cool.
respawns and maybe adding. I would love to see more use of like the helicopters, the RPGs, maybe even add like tanks or something. Like, there's a lot of game modes like Payload that I think are underserved because they don't have leaderboards. Like, could you like when we had when they had ranked TDM. Everybody loved it. I was checking my ranks. I was
People
like,
love that,
I
yeah.
grinded up to. I was trying to grind to Ace and rank TDM, and it was just kind of like a limited time thing. I hope they bring that back. But I could fully see where hardcore mode has a leaderboard.
No, yeah, hardcore mode and
I think
I would love
Payload
to see-
has a
generally
leaderboard,
speaking,
yeah.
I think there's been some criticism that I've heard where it's like people want to have their efforts amount to something. Like they want to grind leaderboards, they want to do something, and we've had some things where arcade stuff has made it into like ranked stuff, and ranked stuff has been more arcade stuff, and it's like kind of trying to figure out what the identities are of that stuff a little bit better. I think we've got some really neat stuff in the game right now. Like you mentioned Payload, love that game mode. It would be cool to like grind up a little bit, or maybe even just bring elements of it to like the game a little bit more.
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I think I get like the one that I want to get behind is 50v50, man. I think that sounds so much fun.
I mean, Rolex was so excited about it. He was like, literally, you were like, metal, and he's like, no,
no, I go first.
Yeah.
I even tweeted at them. I told them.
Even
I was like,
PUBG has an 8v8 arcade mode on PC. Something like that being ported over would be kind of unique.
I think they have like a 24v24 or something as well.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be definitely really cool to see something like that.
Crazy. All right, guys, we're going to close it out of here with a giveaway. We're going to be giving away $50 in UC right now. So IDs are already flying in the chat. We're going to select one and get it up on the screen here shortly. Again, thanks to all of you guys for tuning in today for this particular podcast. Let us know if you'd like to see us back in the future with more podcast action. It could be on the PUBG Mobile official channels, or we could do this privately on our own. You let us know, and if you'd like to see more of this, feel free to tweet at each of us on social media, as well as the PUBG Mobile official account. You guys can find them at PUBG Mobile. Make sure you're following, and we do appreciate them, sponsoring this opportunity and allowing all of us to appear on the official channel and say hi to all of you guys. So big ups to PUBG and the team there for all of that. Cannot wait to do more work with you guys in the future. It's truly a pleasure. Cool. We're about to pick the giveaway.
I like giving money away.
Yeah, this is insane. So we've got a $50 giveaway coming right up. Producer, are we ready? Here it is.
Thumbs up.
553-590-9756. That is your $50 in unknown cash. Oh man, we're gonna pick one more too. I want to give away one more Royale Pass. I mean, I'm feeling generous.
Yeah.
What can I say? So we're gonna get one more of these in there, but that's $50 in unknown cash. Congratulations again, all of you guys that have won stuff this particular stream. Stay tuned the next 24 hours. You can see that drop into your account as we deliver this with our staff. So thank you.
Yeah, it'll go straight into, you'll get like a message being like, thank you, and then it'll go straight to your UC. So make sure you look out for that if you guys are the winners. So,
For sure.
yeah.
It's insane. All right, well, we've got another ID locked and loaded, ready to go. This one is for a Royale Pass, and there it is, 545-7402-836. Hey, that's me! I'm just kidding. That's not actually me. No, I'm 514-484-836, I think.
You're exposing yourself. A lot of friend requests.
No, I'm sure I said it wrong. I'm sure I said
He
it
probably
wrong.
has it maxed out already.
Dude, I was wrong.
yeah.
I haven't checked my... Sorry, guys. It's been a minute. So those are your winners, guys. We got a whole list of them here. We've given away well over $100 today on stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. Give the guys the floor here for any final words. Metal, do you have anything you want to close out with?
I just hope we can do something like this again. It was a lot of fun. So all your guys' support in the chats, on social medias. If you guys continue that, hopefully we can do something like this, like PB said, either on official PUBG Mobile channels or on our own. So let us know.
Rolling.
Yeah, pretty much what he said. We're hoping that we can have some more of these podcasts, and I'm hoping that you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. It was a good time, and hopefully we see you guys soon.
Right on. And Wayne, you got anything you want to kick us out of here with?
No, just thank you guys for being here. We had a ton of fun. Hope we can keep doing something like this, and thank you for giving us the platform, the opportunity to make content. And we all kind of just started out playing games on our phone in between work or breaks or on the bus or whatever, and now we're here. So
Here we are in the desert.
Kind of crazy.
Again, guys, keep your eyes peeled for some events coming very soon in PUBG Mobile. You see the Matt Miramar little screen behind us. We do have some events up and coming next week. So make sure you're following all of PUBG's social media as well as ours, as we'll all have a role in this event. We've got some gun crafting challenges coming up this week, as well as this new feature rolls out in the game to all of you guys. We'll have a contest coming up, so make sure that you guys enter that next week on social media when the word comes out, and tune into the live event that's going to be going down next Thursday at 6 p.m. on the PUBG Mobile official channels. For now, though, guys, we are out of here. Until next time, this is Powerbang along with the OP Squad. We'll see you guys soon. Take care, and much love to the PUBG Mobile community.